This is St. Louis Cardinals baseball. And it's a day game as the weekend series continues from Citizens Bank Park. It's game number 2, the St. Louis Cardinals and the Philadelphia Phillies. Welcome to the broadcast booth here in Philly. That's Brad Thompson. I'm Dan McLaughlin. And Jim Hayes is with us as well. Disappointing night for the Cardinals in Game 1. Jumped out to a 3-0 lead. Couldn't hold it. Now we turn the page to Game 2. However, in Game 1, Nolan Arenado with the cycle.
Pretty special day, right? You love it in a victory. That's what Nolan Arenado wanted more so than hitting his second career cycle. But a historic night nonetheless. First at-bat, gets his triple off the top of the wall. Second at-bat, hits the home run. That gives you the 3-0 lead. You feel like they're going to keep adding to it. Well, he kept adding to his day, Dan. Rips the double down the line. And then ultimately, an interesting way, Dan, to cap this one off.
Yeah, we had to wait. Is it a hit? Is it an error? There's the error. Ruled a hit. And all of a sudden, Arenado had just made history. So those that have done this, Major League players hitting for the cycle this season, Yelich, it always happens for him against the Reds. Then Escobar, Walsh, Hayes, and Nolan Arenado last night for St. Louis. It's game number 2. Matthew Liberatore is on the mound for the Cardinals. The tall lefty. Phil's Cardinals. And baseball comes your way next. Sports Midwest brought to you by Budweiser. This Bud's for you. And by Chevrolet, the #1 selling brand in the St. Louis area. Find yours at your Mid-America Chevy dealer. It's a warm, steamy afternoon in the city of brotherly love. We're in Philadelphia. And it's game number 2, the Cardinals and the Phillies on Bally Sports Midwest from Citizens Bank Park, where it's 91 degrees. Feels a lot hotter than that down on the field. Very steamy for batting practice. Jim Hayes, Brad Thompson, Dan McLaughlin with you. We saw history last night for the St. Louis Cardinals as Nolan Arenado hit for the cycle. And Jimmy, you've got more on that.
Special night for Nolan Arenado as he becomes the first Cardinal since 2005 to hit for the cycle. Second time in his career Nolan has done that. After the game, Nolan said he was happy with the achievement, but not necessarily with the circumstances surrounding it.
You know, obviously, I'll enjoy it when I get back to my room and probably call my mom. But you know, like I said, we want to win the ball game. It was a tough game. Like I said, rather win.
Danny Nolan says Philly fans clapping for him made the whole thing really cool. He said he wasn't expecting that.
No, not when you come to Philly. And thank you, Jim. Nolan Arenado in the lineup batting cleanup here today for St. Louis. Cardinals face a good one in right-handed pitcher Kyle Gibson. He's 4-3 with an ERA of 4.48. So we get to see Gibson on display today.
Yeah, Kyle Gibson making his 16th start of the season. Sinker ball guy. I would recommend jumping on the fastball. Good slider. And I'd also recommend flushing yesterday. The cycle, that was fun. That was fun to see that. And to the point of Nolan getting cheers here, I don't think it would have been had the score been flipped. But you had a couple errors yesterday. Tommy Edman got picked off. Forget about that. It's time to jump on Kyle Gibson.
Kyle Gibson, an all-star last year. And that was at Coors Field in Denver. And there's a look at his Hyundai pitch arsenal.
He's going to sink it. He's going to cut it. He stays down in the zone a lot. Gets a lot of swings on his slider. It's a really good pitch for him.
Acquired from the Texas Rangers, along with Ian Kennedy, part of that deal. Gave up some prospects to bring him to Philly. Tommy Edman, the switch hitter. He's at short today. He'll bat leadoff, and then Brendan Donovan, Goldie, Arenado, Nolan Gorman, Juan Yepez, Dylan Carlson, Lars Nootbaar, and the catcher batting ninth, Ivan Herrera. Happy birthday to the Cardinals skipper, and that is Ali Marmol. Happy birthday, Ali. And hopefully the Cardinals will give you a win and a birthday present on your big day.
I mean, that's what he needs. We got to keep that smile on Ollie all day. That's on the offense. Jump early.
He's only 36, youngest manager in Major League Baseball. And the youngest with the Cardinals organization, by the way, since Cardinals Hall of Famer Marty Marion. The first pitch, strike to Tommy Edman, and we are underway. Gibson's been throwing that cutter a little bit more, hasn't he, this year?
He has, for sure, and it's really effective against the lefties. Gets in there on him.
And the 0-1 pitch to Tommy. Kyle Gibson lives in the St. Louis area in the offseason. Villa Ridge, Missouri. Came up with Minnesota back in 2013, and that's hit down the right field line and yanked foul. Minnesota, a couple of years with Texas. Then the Phillies. He'll be a free agent to be after this season.
Yeah, he's on the last year of a 3-year, $30 million deal signed with the Rangers a couple of years ago. He's a guy that I always thought would profile with the birds on the bat. Sinks it, cuts it, not afraid of contact.
And the 1-2 is a fly ball lifted to St. Louis native Matt Vierling, and he's showing off his versatility. He was at third base last night and in left field today. JT Realmuto behind the plate. He's a good one. Alec Boehm at third. Scott Munoz, the former Cardinal. Hoskins on the infield. Vierling, Herrera, Castellanos in the outfield. Around the Horn is presented by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. Here's Brendan Donovan. And the first pitch, a strike. Home plate umpire is Sean Barber, as we saw last night with Ryan Wills. That strike zone was bouncing all over the place, and Ryan is at third base today. Inside, and it's 1-1.
That's the hard part when it bounces around. If you know that there's one area that an umpire is calling, if you're a good enough pitcher, you'll continue to go back there. But if you don't know where that area is, it makes it a little tough on everybody.
And it's hit up the middle. To his left, spinning Scott. And he makes the play and robs Brendan Donovan.
Dan, Brendan Donovan can move a little bit. I was surprised that Stott got enough on this throw as he ranges way up the middle. Shaded that way anyhow, but still's got to go a decent way to get this turn and throw. Really nice job.
Always find the transition and this part, the spin transition, not only to get something on the throw, but to have it even in the vicinity of your first baseman.
Oh, you work on it, right? You practice that all the time. You just don't get into a ball game and try a spin throw.
And now it is Paul Goldschmidt hitting .344, leading the club. And the 19 home runs, he's driven in 65. Way outside, and that's a ball. Well, the Cardinals, the strikeouts were piling up last night, and that was certainly one of the storylines of the game. The 1-0 pitch, and Goldie hits a high fly ball out to deep right field near the foul pole, and it is out of play. Goldie 1 home run shy of 300 for his career.
Well, the inconsistent strike zone last night may have been a factor with all of the strikeouts. Dylan Carlson had a couple of them that he was not a big fan of. Had one up in the zone, had one out, had one in. I mean, he was kind of all over the place. Home plate umpire Ryan Wills was yesterday, especially with Dylan. But that certainly wasn't the whole case. I think that there were a lot of pitches earlier in counts that the Cardinals could have jumped on.
In a count of 1 ball and 1 strike. And the next to Goldie. Ground ball up the third base line and foul. Kyle Gibson pitched 3 seasons at the University of Missouri, 2007, 8, and 9. And in that 09 season, he was a Golden Spikes National Player of the Year semifinalist. He was a junior. And a connection to the Cardinals as well. Maybe most importantly, he's the vice president of Adam Wainwright's nonprofit. Big league impact. And the 1-2. Goldie up the middle and a base hit. This would happen last night. Remember, Brad, they would get the first 2, the Phillies would, and then Goldie find his way on, and Arenado would do damage.
Yeah, not that you want to have the first 2 guys get out, but I'm fine with that trend continuing. .344 the average for Goldie on the season. That leads everybody in all of baseball. And this is a good slider right here from Kyle Gibson. It's down, it's away, it's off the plate, and Goldie just gets the bat to it.
And here is Arenado, fresh off the cycle last night. So the last to do it prior to Goldie, or rather Arenado, was Mark Grudzielanek. The day game against Milwaukee in 2005 for St. Louis. Cardinals, by the way, have hit a triple in 5 straight games, longest streak in Major League Baseball this season. Off the plate and did not go.
Nolan Arenado, not really the first candidate you think of when you think triple, but that thing, I mean, a foot away maybe from being a home run in his first at bat, kicked off the wall, and he was off to the races.
That's what you have to have sometimes with those cycles, a ball that gets away and allows maybe a non-triples hitter to get there. And the 1-1 taken for a ball inside. So the 17th cycle in Cardinals history. It was a triple, then he homered, the double, and the single to complete that rare feat. It's the second of his career. And when he had the triple and the home run, I thought, okay, this is legitimately in play midway through the game. He's got a shot. And the 2-1. Arenado out to left. Verling back, looks up, and it's gone. A line shot. Home run. Nolan Arenado. His 16th of the year. His second in this series. He's driven in 54, and he's starting to get hot. He's now a triple, a double, and a single away from the cycle.
Almost there. Baby steps. Again, this from Kyle Gibson is not a terrible pitch. It's a slider. It's down, catches a little bit more of the plate than he wanted, but Nolan hits the ball down as well as anybody in baseball. Goes down and gets it. This thing gets out of here in a hurry.
So a 2-0 lead for the Cardinals. They jumped out to a 3-0 lead last night, coughed it up, lost the game. Now it's Nolan Gorman. He was used as a pinch hitter late for St. Louis. And the first pitch, a strike. Cardinals will need a win today to avoid losing their last 4 series here at this ballpark. Last one a series here at Citizens Bank in 2017. Boy, Nolan, he doesn't hit him very high very often. It's just the line drives that turn into home runs.
It's missiles.
And outside, 2 balls and 1 strike.
What's impressive about that one too is how he picked it up out of the hand of Gibson. It was a 2-1 count. I mean, oftentimes you're looking for a fastball elevated a little bit that you could jump on. That was a slider down, and he still put that swing on it.
And the 2-1 pitch to Nolan Gorman. And Gorman hits it out to deep right. The Cardinals have gone back-to-back. 3-0 St. Louis. Nolan Gorman with home run number 7. Back-to-back home runs and a 3-0 St. Louis lead.
Well, that hand for Nolan Gorman must be feeling just fine. As you mentioned, got the at-bat last night and gets a cutter. You were talking, Dan, about the cutter that is used more here by Gibson this year. It's a cutter, it's down, it's in, but it's on the plate. If you're going to throw that cutter into Gorman, it better be up a little bit. And you talk about big home runs. This guy does not get cheated.
Well, the right fielder, Castellanos, took about 1 step, looked up, he knew it was gone, and it's now 3-0. And now it is Juan Yepez.
I appreciate the courtesy step at least. Just give me a jab step back just to let you know that you thought that wasn't going to go 100 feet.
As a pitcher, you appreciate that.
Just the little things. Now, generally, I was so mad yelling in my glove by the time that was off the bat that I wouldn't have noticed, but I'd go back and see the video.
And Yepez hits it out of play. .11 home runs now allowed by the pitcher Kyle Gibson. And it's 1 ball and 2 strikes.
And again, Dan, all of this with 2 outs. Felt like he was going to breeze through this first inning. Hard to breeze through anything when you got Goldie Arenado waiting and then Gorman right behind him.
And the 1-2. Foul ball off the bat of Juan Yepez. He was in left field last night, serving as the DH today. It's the 4th time this season the Cardinals have gone back-to-back this season. 2nd time in the 1st inning. Did that against Kansas City when Arenado at Pujols did that back on April 12th. Outfield is deep and a 1-2. And Yepez hits it out to deep left field. It is gone! 3 consecutive home runs. Arenado, Gorman, Yepez. And the Cardinals offense exploding here in this 1st inning. 4-0 St. Louis. It is a hitter's ballpark, and we're seeing why today.
The 10th of the year for Juan Yepez goes down, gets another slider under the zone. The Cardinals have had such a good approach in this ball game against Kyle Gibson early. Sights are set down. You know that he likes to throw down there with his sinker and with the slider. And they've put a great swing on a few balls this inning. And I would think that that's part of the talking right now. First of all, you're going to give your guy a breather after he just gave up 3 bombs in a row. We say, hey, maybe we need to mix it up. Need to throw up in the zone a little bit. Get these eye level changed a little for the opposition.
It's the 1st time the Cardinals have hit 3 consecutive home runs since 2002. So it had been a while for that. We hadn't seen the cycle last night since 05, so a little history here in this series.
Let's keep going, because coming into the game, I thought the way that Dylan Carlson hits the low ball, that he'd be your home run guy.
And that pitch inside, a 4-0 lead. So Gibson got Edman to line out to left. Donovan robbed it short. The base hit by Goldie. Home run Arenado, Gorman, Yepez. Adds up to a 4-0 lead. Carlson makes it 4 in a row. Way out of here. 4 consecutive home runs for St. Louis. Arenado, Gorman, Yepez, and now Dylan. 5-0 St. Louis.
It might be louder here in Philadelphia in the 1st inning than it was all of last night as Dylan Carlson jumps on a sinker up in the zone, and this thing is a no-doubter off his bat. Just all over Gibson early.
Off the scoreboard in right. 4 consecutive home runs. Now it's Nootbaar. Gibson shell-shocked. This crowd in a state of shock. They started to stir in the bullpen of the Phillies. No one throwing yet.
I don't think they're yelling Newt.
No, sir. And the 1-0. I don't care if he makes it out. I want to see Nootbaar come out of his shoes and try to make it 5.
You might as well.
Hitters count 2 balls and no strikes. Grounded foul. Just look at the body language right now at Gibson. I mean, he's trying to figure out what's going on here.
Yeah, well, he's throwing a ton of strikes. That's something you knew coming in, that he's going to be around the zone. If I'm Gibson, I think about moving some feet a little bit.
And the 2-1 pitch. Good start to the birthday. 5-0 lead here in the 1st. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, nobody on. All this being done with 2 outs. The 2-2. And a fly ball lifted out to left. Veerling under it, and he'll make the catch. 5 consecutive hits 4 consecutive home runs and 5 runs in the first inning for St. Louis. Arenado, Gorman, Yepez, and Dillon all go deep. What a start for St. Louis. And Matthew Liberatore, before he throws one pitch, has a lead of 5-0.
That's a beautiful place to be. The Toyota key to the game here for Matthew Liberatore and the Cardinals. First things first. Now, you could say first things first. Score a bunch of runs in the first. Check that box. But for this guy, for Matthew Liberatore, it's strike one, and it's getting the first batter in each inning. That has been a problem for Matthew Liberatore, only retiring 53% of the first batters he faces. Just for reference, the league average is around 70%. So getting that first guy is very important.
Here's Kyle Schwarber, and strike one, the designated hitter for the Phillies today.
The Hyundai pitch arsenal here for Matthew Liberatore has got that sinker, run the four seam. Everybody knows about how good that curveball is. Gets a lot of swing and miss on that, and gets a lot of swing and miss on the changeup as well.
Inside, and it's a ball and a strike. Kyle Schwarber, an impressive June. And as he goes, a lot of times this offense goes. He's at the top of their lineup. He's going to draw a number of walks, but also he's going to strike out, hit home runs. Hoskins, Castellanos also in the first. Realmuto, Bohm, Vierling, Herrera, Munoz, and then the ninth place batter, Bryson Stott. It's a good breaking ball there by Liberatore.
Yeah, really got Schwarber out in front and spotted that thing well down.
Well, time called. Well, it's a young battery here when you think about Matthew Liberatore and Ivan Herrera. It's incredible.
Well,
youth is served.
The hope is that these two grow up together wearing the birds on the bat. So, I mean, this could be the beginning of a long road between these two.
And the 2-2 is a called third strike, and a good start for Matthew Liberatore. Cardinals defense around the horn is presented by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers, with Donovan, Carlson, and Newbar in the outfield. Arenado at third, Edman at short, Gorman at second, Goldie at first. Ivan Herrera is behind the plate. The versatility of Donovan. He was in right last night. He's in left today. Fun player to watch.
Yeah, he is. Well, if you swing it, you get on base the way that he does, you're going to find yourself a spot in the lineup every day.
And a ball taken high by Rhys Hoskins, 16 home runs. And swinging a hot bat. Average up now to 254. And he's driven in 41. 1 ball and 1 strike. Hoskins is 5th all-time already in this ballpark in terms of home runs and extra base hits. That kind of surprised me when I saw that.
Yeah, well, he's been a very productive player. It's been a good sequence so far too from Matthew Liberatore. Change up, second pitch, then fastball in.
And taken in again, and it's now even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Trying to go way back in our research, but we're thinking that may be only the 11th time to have 4 consecutive home runs hit by the Cardinals in franchise history. So if you did not tune in for the top of the first, you missed out. A lot of 2-out damage, a lot of home runs.
It was firework night last night here. Felt like it in the first inning for the Birds.
And a 1-out walk. Well, the Cardinals making some roster moves prior to today's game. They announced a series of transactions. Jordan Hicks activated from the IL. Matthew Liberatore recalled from Memphis. Jake Woodford optioned to Memphis. And Nick Whitgren was designated for assignment. Nick had nothing but glowing things to say about his time in St. Louis. I talked to Ali about it, and when he sat him down, I said, those have to be tough conversations. And he said they are. And, you know, he's a good guy. He's doing the best he could. It just did not come together as consistently as they were expecting with the Cardinals. So he's DFA'd, and now Castellanos having words with the home plate umpire.
I'm going to go right back out there again if I'm Matthew Liberatore, especially after the conversation. I mean, it's a strike. It's borderline. It's close.
Castellanos is grounded into 8 double plays, and that's in on his hands and fouled back.
Talked a little bit about the inconsistency so far of Nick Castellanos this year, but he has been pretty consistent against the lefties, hitting over 300. So you do have to mix it up against him. He will expand too. I mean, you've got him in protect mode right now.
The shift on the left side, and Castellanos hits a fly ball into right field. Lars Nootbaar under it to make the catch, and that's out number 2. The batter will be JT Realmuto, and he did not play last night. Hitting .239 with 5 home runs, and he's driven in 29. Among all catchers in the big leagues, he's first in innings caught, and he's a very good catch and throw guy. He's thrown out nearly 50% of base stealers against him this year. Always find it amazing the very stats that are available to really break down a game and make it to the split second as to whether or not you want to steal. There are StatCast data out there that talks about pop-up time, basically glove to glove, and he is incredibly quick. That's why it makes it tough to run on him.
That's the art of it. I know we focus a lot on offensively what everybody's doing, and he's a very good offensive player as well. If I had to pick, though, I want my catcher to be great behind the plate.
Lined out to Nootbaar and right, shy of the track, and the catch made. So the Phillies strand a runner. We move to inning number 2, and it's 5-0. It's the 11th time in the history of baseball, 4 consecutive home runs, and it's the first time it's ever been done in the first inning. So historic in that regard, as the Cardinals got a 2-run homer by Nolan Arenado, then solo home runs by Gorman, Yepez, and Carlson. 4 consecutive at bats with a home run against Cal Gibson. Wow.
Game has been played a long time. This franchise has been around forever, and yet you still have an opportunity on a given day to watch history.
So I'll tell you, I mean, I thought we had seen it before. We had, and it was against the Cardinals in 2020. Roel Ramirez, it's the last time it happened. Remember, he made his major league debut, and he gave up 4 consecutive home runs to the White Sox. And a strike to Ivan Herrera.
That is not how you draw it up. That's tough.
I was thinking, boy, we've had to have seen that before, right? And I was like, oh yeah, that game.
Just the other end of it.
That's right. And it's 0-2 on the 9th place batter, Ivan Herrera.
It'll be interesting to see this time around if Kyle Gibson mixes it up a little bit more. Stayed down with virtually everything. The only one that was elevated was the home run that Dylan Carlson hit out of the ballpark.
And the 0-2. From a pitcher's perspective, Brad, I mean, you're Kyle Gibson. Seriously, he's been around for a long time. What's going through your mind when something like that happens, and how do you regroup?
Well, I like Kyle Gibson's chances of flushing that better than I like a young pitcher's, but it's still difficult. I mean, because you know that even some of these you executed your pitch on, and they hit it. So how do you mix it up now? Like, your game plan might be thrown out the window. They're looking for your slider down to the bottom of the zone. They've crushed a couple of them out of the ballpark. So how do you mix it up now? And Kyle's been around. He knows how to pitch. So we'll see if he's able to make those adjustments in this game.
And a count of 1-2 on Ivan Herrera. Next pitch to him. And it's 2-2. Yeah, last night was a tough game for the Cardinals in the fact that you're up 3-0 with Michaelis on the mound. You feel good with any lead with Miles, but midway through, a couple of errors. Just was not a sharp ball game for St. Louis.
No, yeah, he had Tommy Edman got picked off at first. Just stuff you don't tend to see. There's the slider right there that gets Herrera to swing through. But you flush those games. Like, you're upset about. You punched out 15 times too in that ball game. But you scored the 1 in the first with the triple from Arenado. You got the 2-run home run by Arenado in the 3rd, and that was it for your scoring. So you want to see this. You had that monster first inning, that historic first inning. Keep adding to it. How do you continue to apply the pressure? Especially with the young Liberatore on the mound. Give him as much of a cushion. I'm not saying he needs 10 runs, but it's nice to keep adding on.
And now Tommy Edman and a base hit into center. There's just not a lot of bite either with that breaking ball. He's 1 for 2. Chevy pitch tracks.
Tommy Edman does a lot of damage on the first pitch of at-bats. Oftentimes the fastball. This time the curveball just past Gibson here. And he's fortunate that that was off the mark a little bit.
He's now hitting nearly 500 on the first pitch of an at-bat. That's career hit number 400 for Tommy Edman. Here's Brendan Donovan, who is robbed by the shortstop Scott on a play up the middle. You thought, okay, Gibson got the first 2, could be a quiet inning for the Cardinals. Then Goldie with a 2-strike base hit to center. Then the fun started.
Oh my gosh. Well, you think about it too, how Goldie set that up. Goldie's hit was a slider that was off the plate. Really good pitch, and just figured out a way to get it into center field to start all of this.
So do the Cardinals want to be running here with Tommy Edman after talking about the efficiency of the catcher Realmuto? Highest OPS among the rookies this year. Only Christopher Morel is higher at the start of play than this guy at the plate, Brendan Donovan. OPS, on base plus slug. And Donovan lifts a fly ball out to left center. Vierling is called off by Herrera, the center fielder, makes the catch. And who knows, maybe career home run number 300 right here. 2 outs.
Well, this has been the trend again, Dan. 2 outs, Goldie up. Here we go.
So they get the first 2 a couple of times last night. Then Goldie finds a way. Arenado damage. That's what happened here in the first inning. Now 2 outs and a runner at first in Tommy Edman. And the first pitch to Goldschmidt off the plate and taken for a ball. This is the kind of lineup that you're hoping for, and I'm not saying 4 consecutive home runs, but an unforgiving lineup. Once Goldie's done, it's Arenado, then it's Nolan Gorman or Tyler O'Neill. I mean, there's some bats in here that can do some damage.
No, there really is. And the length is something of this lineup that Ollie Marmol talked about in spring that he expected out of this team.
And a count of 1 ball and 1 strike. When he gets it, he will. He'll be the 6th player to hit career home run number 300 in a Cardinals uniform. Stan, Albert, Gary Gaetti, Troy Gloss, and our buddy Jimmy Ballgame. Cardinals 5 for 6 in this spot. The next, foul back.
I remember Troy Gloss's 250th quite well, because I gave up that one.
Did you?
In Arizona? Yeah.
Oh boy,
that was a pretty good hit. Sinker, middle, left center in the seats. A good day for him, though.
Did you get upset?
Of course, I got upset a lot. You'd think I'd just get used to it, but nope.
Troy, I know when he joined St. Louis, would always go all out for you two defensively.
Look, he's over there. He's over there doing his thing.
Love to get dirty and sell out, huh?
Right on the heels of Scott Rowland.
Here's a 1-2 and way inside, and that did hit him. Apparently grazed the jersey of Goldschmidt. No argument from Realmuto, and Goldie immediately started taking off the protective equipment. So now it's Nolan Arenado, who's homered a couple of times already in this series. All the homers in the first. StatCast powered by Google Cloud. 2 to left, 2 to right.
That is quite the sight in the first inning of a ball game. You come in with all these expectations as a pitcher. All right, this is what I'm going to do here. All of a sudden, 4 home runs later, throw it out the window.
Yeah. And a strike to Nolan Arenado. Pitch count already nearing 50 for Gibson. And he's gotten 5 outs so far. Arenado's home run was his 16th of the year. Couple of fastballs challenging him.
Well, I think that Gibby was really trying to get in on him right there and caught a break that he didn't pull the trigger on the sinker down in the zone. Nolan hits fastballs. I mean, he's among the league's best, hitting over 350 against the heater.
And the 0-2 pitch with 2 outs and 2 on. Arenado lines it out to left, and Vierling is there. Hit it on the button, but right to Matt Vierling. Makes the catch. Cardinals strand a pair, and it's 5-0.
Beautiful Philadelphia, 5-zip Cards. 5th career start for Matthew Liberatore. And Ollie Marmol says if he pitches well, he could stick in the rotation. That could put pressure on a young pitcher, but not Liberatore. He told me, I give myself 2 options in a situation like this. I can either worry about it as much as possible, and I'm still going to have to go out and pitch, or I cannot worry about it and go out and pitch. I think my chances for success are better when I don't stress about the uncontrollable. So that's the road I choose to take. Danny, pretty mature young man.
Yeah, and it helps when you jump out, thank you, Jimmy, to the 5-run lead that he has here. The thing is, at this ballpark, truly no lead is safe. It's a hitter's park.
Well, it's very true. We saw it in the first inning that could happen at any given time. Maybe not that exactly, but runs can be scored here in a hurry. But I like that approach from Matthew Liberatore also. I mean, those things too, it's easy to say that. It's a lot harder to do it, and I believe that he can. I mean, think about Matthew Liberatore. This kid's been a star his entire life growing up. He's pitched in the biggest games, the biggest showcases. Now, no bigger stage than this, but you can't worry about it. You go out there and perform. He knows he's got the stuff.
It's hit out of play, and it's a count of 1 ball and 2 strikes. Matt Vierling on deck, and then Odubel Herrera. And the time called now by Bohm, who's hitting .263, 4 home runs, and he's driven in 27. Lined foul. Had a great conversation today with the young man on deck, Matt Vierling, and first time I've had the chance to visit with him, a St. Louis native from CBC High School. Inside corner, doesn't get the call. Liberatore thought he had the strikeout. And one of the things that Matt had the opportunity to do, it was to privately meet with Albert Pujols before today's game.
That's pretty cool.
Inside, and I had asked him prior to finding that out, I said, well, you grew up a Cardinals fan, right? And he said, oh, absolutely, went to the ballpark all the time. I said, okay, I got to ask you a favorite player. Before I could even get it out, he goes, Yachty Albert. He said, matter of fact, Dan, I get the chance to meet Albert today. As Bohm lifts a fly ball out to deep right, and it's off the top of the wall. Backing up, it'll be Dylan Carlson. And Carlson's throw is not in time. It'll be a triple for Alec Bohm. It's a hot day here in Philly. The ball is jumping.
Yeah, well, that was one that Lars Nootbaar and Wright did not think was going to travel that far. He continued to drift off this. It hits off the top of the wall and then kicks. A lot of times, if you know it's going to be at the wall, you'll back off of it and play the carom. First of all, Bohm gets a good swing on this. He likes the ball away from him, especially from a left-handed pitcher. And just out of the reach of Nootbaar. That thing kicked like crazy. We talked about that last night. There are different areas on that wall. Sometimes off the chain link, it'll just die right there on the wall. That hit a hard spot and came way back.
Infield back with a 5-run lead, and here's Vierling. So there's a bunch of different things that happened for Matt today. So he met with Albert, then Albert came back into the clubhouse, grabbed a couple of bats and signed them personally to him. But he said that Albert, something happened where he crossed by third base, and Matt was at third base last night. And he lines it into right field. Nootbaar with the catch. He'll fire to the plate, and it is not in time. RBI for Bierling. And that'll be his 10th of the year and gets the Phillies on the board. And he said it was one of those moments when Albert was going back into the Cardinal dugout. He said, I almost started to hyperventilate. I said, well, how are you going to do in the meeting with Albert? He said, I don't know if I can get a word out. I'm too nervous. I mean, that's how he makes you feel.
Sir.
Yes. I mean, we forget because we're around him all the time, but that's the impact of Albert Pujols.
Well,
he's pretty cool.
He's larger than life, and he's one of the best players to ever play the game. And I can only imagine, first of all, just growing up in the greater St. Louis area, going to games, watching Albert do all those magical things, and then finally be playing on a field across from him, and then get to meet him. I mean, that stuff dreams are made of.
And a grounder foul. And so Albert came back in then to the clubhouse, and John Mozeliak is on this trip. And Albert said, you know, Dan, do you know this guy? Gave him a little history. He said, I like how he swings the bat. He said he's got soft hands. This is just Albert watching the game from last night. He said he goes, he moves well. He's got soft hands. He said he's a nice player. And he sees Mo, and Albert says, hey, Mo, a St. Louis kid, you didn't get him. And Mo said, we drafted him. He didn't sign. We tried.
He went to Notre Dame instead.
Yeah. He said, okay. And then, you know, Mo had a good one back for Albert. He said, well, I did hit with you in the 13th round. I drafted you. So, you know, you hit on some.
You want to talk about value?
Yes. And a bouncer up the middle, glove by Gorman. Tough play, and not in time. The center fielder Herrera gets down the line, an infield base hit.
Well, you're right. Herrera scoots. This good effort right here by Gorman to make the play. And I've been really impressed the way that he can go to his backhand side and make that throw. That's not an easy throw. It's one that Tommy Edman makes look easy. But Gorman does a lot. You've talked about it, Dan. The fact that he's got a third baseman's arm. I mean, he gets a good amount on that throw right there. And right now for Matthew Liberatore, get another ground ball. That's it. You still got yourself a nice cushion. Get a ground ball. You're doing your job.
And now it's the former Cardinal, Jairo Munoz. We mentioned last night he's in very good shape. Big breaking ball. Taken high. Munoz hitting 190, couple of home runs, and is driven in 3.
Well, you know, Jairo Munoz likes fastballs elevated in the zone. Stay down with him. He could be your double play candidate.
And the check on the runner, Herrera. Well, you've talked about it. Meeting your idol was Greg Maddux. For me, being around Ozzie Smith was one of my favorites. That era of baseball. And, you know, for some of these guys that are on the field right now, it's still people that are playing. And
yeah,
it's Albert. And that's a base hit. Out to left. Herrera on his way to third. And the throw going to third, allowing Munoz to go to second. Now, Munoz did not hesitate one bit. He had 2 on his mind, but if that throw goes to second, maybe a close play. Who knows?
Yeah, I'm not sure you end up getting Munoz on that one. You could tell there was the thought process there by Donovan. You see him, and he said, I'm not doing it. I feel like you'd have been in this situation either way. Change up left up in the zone by Matthew Liberatore, trying to bury that thing down. That is a dangerous place to be leaving that. And even though Munoz is out in front of it, you see the eyes up looking at Munoz there that was already on his way to second.
And it brings in the shortstop, Bryson Stott. Played in 50 games coming into this afternoon's action, and that's 6th most of them among the rookies of the National League. Hitting just 162 against the lefties. And the corners, one back, Goldie, Arenado in. And a count of 1 ball and 1 strike. Could be one of those days where you're in for an offensive day on both sides.
I'd rather it just be one-sided.
I hear you. And the 1-1 out of play. Well, there's times, as you know, Brad, as a pitcher, you're saying, and Dave Duncan was big on pitch to contact, 2-seamers, ground balls, but there are also times where you need a strikeout. This would be one of them.
Yeah, it is, and it's also one of the biggest things to remember as a young pitcher is that you don't have to make the pitch nastier. You have to make the location better.
And the 1-2 under the glove of Arenado. Run will score. Munoz held up at third base. Runners at the corners. That makes it a 5-2 game, and the tying run will come to the plate, and Schwarber.
Well, and it comes down to, we were just talking about, make the location better. On this slider, it's up in the zone. Matthew Liberatore misses his spot. It's up enough to be able to shoot this thing through the left side.
Schwarber struck out first time up, looking. And Mike Maddox out to calm down the young Matthew Liberatore. Bullpen of the Cardinals, some of them start to get up and stretch. No one throwing. By the way, Arenado cut that ball after diving for it. If he doesn't get up and snag that throw, and Donovan did the right thing, you got to get it back to the infield and you find whoever's there to cut. And he gets up, and by cutting it off, keeps a double play in order. Watch this here. He's on the ground, looks back. Whoop. If that gets through, it's second and third.
Heads on a swivel.
Yes.
All the time.
And again, Donovan does the right thing.
Yeah, gets it in. And to your point of keeping it here first and third, your double play is still in order. You're that one pitch away. With a guy that does not hit a ton of ground balls in Schwarber.
A lot of balls in the air, or just a lot of swing and misses.
Yep. And he'll take his free passes.
So they'll hold the runner at first base. That's Stott. A swing and a miss.
That was a well executed slider right there. Schwarber was trying to tie that game up with one swing.
And the crowd here in Philly coming alive here in game 2. Schwarber is hit into 6 double plays. Cardinals have turned 81 ground ball double plays, most in baseball. He's homered 3 times in the last 5 games. And he's made the most of the 23 home runs that he's hit. 15 of those have been game tying or go ahead homers. And the 1-1 pitch to Kyle Schwarber. Couldn't hold up. Okay, he's got him 1-2. You've struck him out already. What are you doing here?
So if I can execute, I'm going to stay. He's not picking up that slider from you down and away. I would like to be able to stay there. If he lays off of it, then maybe I change my plan, elevate with my fastball up above the zone. But I wouldn't be afraid to go back out there.
The next. Got him. Took some off it, and a strikeout of Schwarber, and a big one. He's got 2 today, and both have been of the Phillies leadoff man.
Great location, the last 2 breaking pitches. It was the slider 2 pitches ago. This time it's the curveball down, and he bounces it. You see Herrera before the pitch pointing in the dirt. Bounce it. That's exactly what he does. This is one of those spots here, too. You've given up a couple of runs. But if you're able to get out of this, you leave it here a 5-2, 5-2 lead after 2, you feel pretty good about things.
And now it's Rhys Hoskins. I think that pitch is a good example of what we've seen at times from Matthew, is just the inconsistency with the breaking ball.
There's been something about the grip with that pitch. It's popped out of his hand a lot.
Hoskins walked his first time up. Cardinals with a shift on the left side of the infield. Take it high. 2 balls, no strikes. Castellanos on deck. The next is a strike, and it's 2-1. It's an all left-handed bench to start this game for the Phillies. Moniak, Gregorius, Stubbs, the backup catcher, and then Hall, who has 3 home runs and 3 hits in his big league career. The 2-1. And the 3-1 pitch. 3-2. I wonder about that grip that you're talking about, the difference of the baseball from AAA to Major League Baseball. And they've talked about a lot of differences with that baseball.
Yeah, very well could be the case. A little bit more seam that you can pull down on. Pretty gutsy pitch right there. 3-1 breaking ball. Backdoor gets the call.
And the 3-2 runner from first should be off with a pitch. Was not. It's hit a mile high, and calling for it, it'll be Tommy Edman in foul territory. The shortstop puts it away. So long inning comes to a close. Phillies pick up 2, and it's 5-2. Make sure and download the MLB app and get video highlights, live pitch by pitch, breaking news, player updates, stat leaderboards, and more for your St. Louis Cardinals. It'll be Nolan Gorman, Juan Yepez, and Dylan Carlson. So all 3 part of that historic first inning of the 4 consecutive home runs hit by St. Louis. It's Nolan Gorman's 7th home run of the season, and the first pitch to him.
Well, that's where you're going to have to go. If you want to go into Gorman, it's going to have to be up and in. He drops his hands, and his hands are quick on that pitch that's down. That was his home run, was a cutter down and in.
1 ball and 1 strike. (5-2) St. Louis here in the top of the 3rd. Before this one is done, you get the feeling it's a bullpen game.
Well, this Phillies bullpen has been really good here recently.
Saw that last night. 2-1 off the plate, and it's 3-1. I wonder how aggressive both managers will be, realizing that tomorrow you got Wainwright against Wheeler, guys that go typically fairly deep into a game. And a full count.
It's nice to have those safety nets, isn't it?
Yeah.
Within your rotation. And really, you look around baseball, there's not too many guys like Adam Wainwright, obviously, the way that he goes about it and has been doing it for so long. But you know you're going to get length out of him.
And the 3-2 pitch. And that's ball 4. Well, we were talking to Adam before the game, and he was telling us it'll be a record. What was it, 17 times he will have started in a nationally televised Sunday night game. He said it's kind of cool because, you know, your friends and folks that maybe don't see you every day get the chance to watch you, and you'll hear from them, so he enjoys it. and he'll go tomorrow for St. Louis. There's Juan Yepez. Gorman on base for the second time. This swing and a miss. I asked Adam, what's your favorite moment of being at this ballpark? He said, well, it's hard not to overlook the Halladay Carpenter game and one of his best friends and Skip Schumacher getting that dramatic hit. But he said game 2 is the one that really came to mind for him. As Yepez pops it up, the shortstop Bryson Stott makes the play, and Stott puts it away for the out. He said, you know, we're down in that game, and if we don't come back, it's probably over. We're down 2-0 to such a good Phillies team. And Chris Carpenter, he said, was in that dugout saying, we can do this, we will do this, just keep plugging. And he said it's just something that he's never forgotten, being at this ballpark.
Well, that team had a belief, didn't they?
Oh, yeah.
And Tony La Russa had his belief in the ball club, even though math almost had him checked out. Came roaring back. Historic September. When you do that, when you battle back and get into the playoff field after that, how can anything drag you down? Get down in a series, down against a tough pitcher, who cares?
That's why wild card teams are always dangerous.
Yes, they are.
They've been playing, you know, playoff type baseball for a long time in the regular season.
Beware the desperate team.
Yes. By the way, the National Baseball Hall of Fame has already contacted the Cardinals and requested Dylan Carlson's bat when he's done using it for the year. So he was the 4th of the 4 consecutive.
Pretty neat.
How about that? And the 1-1 pitch. He'll check that bat right now, and that may be it for it. Who knows? Dylan Carlson, this one off the scoreboard in right. 4 consecutive home runs, 4 consecutive plate appearances. Arenado, Gorman, Yepez, Carlson all going deep. Maybe Mr. DeWitt is on the phone and says, not so fast.
This is going to a different Hall of Fame.
That's right. The 1-2, fouled back.
He's got enough personal items. You could throw something else in there.
Do you realize that the Cardinals Hall of Fame, and there it is, 4 home runs in a single inning, 1948, but not the 4 consecutive. But the Cardinals Hall of Fame has roughly 25,000 artifacts. Now, not all displayed at the same time, obviously, held in storage and safekeeping, but that's incredible.
It's ever changing, too.
Carlson, deep drive down the right field line and hooking, just foul. Bidding for his 2nd home run. It wasn't fouled by much. Right now at the Cardinals Hall of Fame and Museum, there's the display of the 1982 team. And every player has given back something from that year. Spikes, hat, jersey, glove, whatever. Pretty cool.
It is cool. Had a chance to go through, and they have a little area where these blocks where you can spin them, and on the back of them it's got like a Whitey Herzog quote or something, you know,
yeah,
that he would talk about. It was really fascinating.
Did not go, and it's 2-2. Whitey sat down. What is Whitey now? 91, maybe 92, and they sat him down for like 3 hours and went through situations of that season, and they all went back and like did the baseball reference on this date against this team.
He's got it.
He had everything down to a T.
I don't know what I had for lunch.
Exactly. The 2-2. Well, Carlson, his past 16 hits, 11 have gone for extra bases. 7 doubles, a triple, 3 home runs.
You've seen Gibson incorporate his changeup a little bit more here to lefties. We've also seen a miss arm side. If he elevates with one of those, that could be gone too.
Diving back in safely, it's Gorman. And the 2-2 pitch on its way. Struck him out. Whitey, by the way, will turn 91 on November 9th. And he doesn't miss many of our games.
No. And when you run into him at the ballpark, I mean, he'll break down exactly how the bullpen's being used, who's hot, who's not, what he would do. I mean, he's so fun to get an opportunity, learn so much, getting an opportunity to talk to him.
Boys, Newbar fly to left field. That ended the top of the first, and he's 0 for 1.
Starting to see some better action on some of these pitches here from Gibson. That was a nice tight cutter in there to Newbar up. Sinker's been sinking. He had a nice front door one to Gorman before he lost him.
By the way, I do remember what I had for lunch today. I had a cheesesteak thanks to Jimmy. Brought it in from the visitors clubhouse.
Yeah, I generally don't remember, but today Jim Hayes did it right.
Just kind of sits with you.
Oh, I want it to happen again. Maybe in the 5th.
Then again in the 9th. Out to center, and Herrera makes the catch. Cardinals strand their 3rd runner today, and it's 5-2. Insider get to know rookie Zach Thompson. Albert Pujols climbs baseball's leaderboards. Bo Hart recalls his historic debut. That's all on the next Cardinals Insider. That'll be tomorrow at 10:30 on Bally Sports Midwest. They did boo him in Philly. The great Kris Kringle.
How do you do that?
I don't know. And I asked Jimmy, our buddy, who worked here many years, and I said, come on, did they really boo Santa Claus? Yes. He confirmed it on the bus yesterday.
Wow. Look, you're going to pay for that. It's going to happen.
That's a lump of coal coming your way.
Sure is.
A swing and a miss.
He sees you.
Sees everything. Nick Castellanos. When you look at the numbers of Matthew Liberatore, is there a pitch that gets right-handers off his stuff? You know, last year the home runs primarily that he gave up were to right-handed batters, and you look at some of the different numbers this season, it's the righties that are getting it.
Yeah, one, and I think that there's a couple. One is commanding his fastball inside to them, and I've seen a couple of those today. He's actually done a very good job of getting those in and in off the plate. But I think next is that evolution of the changeup. He gets swing and miss with the pitch, but he doesn't use it as much, about 13% of the time. I think that he could up that usage a little bit once he gets a feel for it.
No balls and 2 strikes on Nicholas Castellanos. 34 home runs last year with Cincinnati, and he's got 8 thus far this season. Signed a 5-year $100 million deal as the Reds were unloading players right and left. And there it is again, kind of just spinning up there, coming out of the hand.
Well, it could have something to do too with the grip. Maybe it's a nice light grip, just holds it in there, gets the fingers out on top of it, but it will pop out. And I'm not as concerned about the one that pops out for a ball. I'm concerned about the one that rolls in the strike zone. There it is again. We'd love to see a quicker inning here for Matthew Liberatore. 29 pitches in the 2nd inning.
And the next check swing and a strikeout. Couldn't hold up, and Matthew has his 3rd strikeout today.
So had a couple of breaking balls pop out of the hand of Matthew Liberatore. He goes back to the fastball, elevates it. Castellanos just cannot hold up. Home plate umpire Sean Barber rings him up. He wanted to appeal down to first base and Larry Vanover, but doesn't get it.
Popped up off the bat of JT Realmuto. Over to get it. Goldie looking for help, and off the glove of Gorman. He's going to need those to be caught.
Yeah, look, this is not a routine play by any means, but it's one that you want to have, and you saw that right there. You just saw Gorman pull up a little bit, believing that Goldie was going to get to it, and this is where communication is key. Nolan Gorman's got a better angle on that ball than Paul Goldschmidt does. Got to keep going full head of steam through that ball.
And a pitch that misses in.
So that's the one we're talking about, though, is being able to get right-handers off of things away. If you can show that you can throw that fastball in there off the plate, have command of that, it's really going to open up outside for you.
And the 1-1 doesn't get the call, a little bit low. The 2-1 pitch to Realmuto, who lined out to right field first time up. The baseballs now are being rubbed up prior to the ball game by those inside the clubhouse, which is always done, but they're trying to make sure they can get them as uniform as they can. Everything's the same, and a base hit to left. One out hit. Alec Bohm will be the batter coming in.
It's an elevated sinker right here from Matthew Liberatore, trying to go down in the zone. If he goes down, he gets him to roll over. That's a ground ball. It stays up and it allows him to slap that thing into the outfield. The baseballs is interesting, Dan, because I mean, you have humans doing this. So while there's a technique, and I read all about how they're supposed to be doing it and the amount of time, everybody's different.
Yep.
So it's going to be very difficult to have that. I know they're all storing baseballs now. Everybody has humidors. They have to be in them for a certain amount of time before you can utilize the balls. I mean, they're trying as best they can to have the same feel.
Right now, he has no feel of that pitch. Well, it's just so inconsistent.
And it might be worth trying to go to a different one in a spot. I still think his fastball is good enough to play.
So one out and a runner at first, and the 1-0 fouled back.
Go ahead and compete with that thing.
We were talking about teams that just get in, and it makes me think of the '64 Cardinals. Gene Mauch's Phillies, 6.5 game lead, 12 games remaining in the season. Cardinals, they come back as Gene Mauch had a habit of using starting pitchers on short rest. In particular, his two aces, he had Chris Short and Jim Bunning. He had them start at 2 days rest multiple times in the stretch run. Matter of fact, 19 of the final 33 games on short rest. And they cough it up. The Cardinals get in, and the rest is history as St. Louis would win the World Series.
That'll bite you at some point. Keep going back to the well.
Little flare into shallow right, coming on Nootbaar, diving for it, gets by him. Backing up, Carlson, and runners at the corners. Great effort by Nootbaar, just a bit short. Bohm is 2 for 2. And runners at first and third with just one out.
It looked like Newt had the closing speed and got to this ball, but just couldn't quite get there in the air and snag it. Long way to go for Nootbaar as this thing's just dying in front of him. Almost an awkward dive.
Well, the Mets did cough up a 7-game lead with 17 to play. Remember, in 2007. After losing to your club in 06, and that allowed the Phillies to get in. And a pitch taken down and in by Vierling. Grade school, by the way, Mary Queen of Peace, then CBC, and then off to Notre Dame.
I'd say pretty well educated.
He's right in that Webster Groves, Kirkwood area. He was telling me that in high school he played right field, center field, third base, shortstop. His dad was a great athlete at St. Louis U High School.
You don't generally see that in high school. You see a guy like him just play shortstop every day.
That's what I asked him. I said, I guess you're a shortstop, but he said not till my senior year when they won state. They're usually shortstops, pitchers, and they bat cleanup.
That's it.
2 balls and a strike. Vierling lined out and picked up a run batted in his first time up. You see Liberatore going now with this fastball a little bit more. Some of the relievers are jogging now in the bullpen, just trying to get loose. Won't take long on a hot day. It's muggy here in Philly. Pitch number 65 coming up. And the 3-1 pitch. The fly ball out to center field. Backing up Carlson. Runner tags from third and will score. Vierling is brought in 2, and that makes it a 5-3 game. And here is Herrera, single back in the second inning. And Zach Thompson is getting loose in the St. Louis bullpen. 2 outs and a runner at first, and the tying run at the plate. Shift on the right side, and a base hit for Herrera. Runners at the corners with 2 down, and Herrera is 2 for 2.
Well, Herrera not wasting any time. He saw a pitch, a fastball that was just elevated a little bit in the zone, and he jumps on it. You get it down, you might end up getting your ground ball. It's up enough for him to hit the line drive.
They're going to give time for Thompson to throw and at least get a little bit loose here. You've got Jairo Munoz, who doubled to left on a changeup that was up back in the second inning. That may be it. And here comes Ollie right now. He's not messing around.
Well, he wants this one. You have that 5-run first inning. You had 4 home runs. You can't give this one back. Offensively, you need to keep adding on, but you want to make sure you keep the ball game there.
This will be the Chevy call to the pen with runners at first and third. Jairo Munoz coming up. And again, Ollie, Brad, not wasting any time here.
No, he's not. Look, you jumped all over Kyle Gibson. You get a 5 spot in the first. You see it just creeping away from you. You're seeing pitches, too, from Matthew Liberatore that are elevated. You need to be able to squash that. So you certainly did not want to have to go to your pen this early in this game, especially one where you had a lead. But sometimes you got to do what you got to do.
Do you think this is one of those appearances where Thompson gives you a third of an inning, cleans it up, gets out of it, and then you regroup because he pitched last night too?
Yeah, I think it very well could be. You got to worry about or wonder how long he actually goes for you in this ball game. But he's been such a pivotal piece for you. You think, can you sneak an out in? I think it's part of that conversation too that managers have. You know, all he's having with his guys that he had today with Thompson. Say, hey, are you good today?
So 2 2/3 for Liberatore, given a 5-run lead, and now it's 5-3. Runners at first and third, and Munoz, who doubled out to left, his first time up. the first time the Cardinals have used him in back-to-back games. Two outs, runners at the corners. And the pitch by Thompson, taken for a strike. Well, I like what I've seen out of Zach Thompson.
Yeah, I have too. He trusts his fastball within the zone. He elevates with it well. Then he's got the big curveball. But I think that third pitch, his changeup, it's also been good. Keeps those right-handers honest. The pitch that we were talking about with Matthew Liberatore.
And the 0-1. Lined into the gap in left center. Off the bat of Munoz and all the way to the wall. Spinning Carlson. Relay to the plate. Edman. It's cut off. The game is tied. Jairo Munoz, his second double, and this one brings in two, and we've got a brand new game.
You mentioned it earlier, Dan. No lead is safe in this ballpark. You got to continue to tack on. This one's a fastball. It's down, but ends up catching way more of the plate than Thompson wants. Finds itself in the gap, and everybody's off to the races.
Closes the book on Liberatore. And here is Stott, and a high chopper to first. Goldschmidt to Thompson to the bag and the out. Phillies have tied it up, and we move to the fourth, and it's 5-5. To Busch Stadium on Friday, July 8th. Purchase of a themed ticket. Fans take home an exclusive Cardinals boy band t-shirt. And come early for a pregame concert by the Boy Band Night Band. Tickets at cardinals.com/theme. Phillies were down 5-0. They've tied it up 5-5. Last night down 3-0, won the game. So here we go. Fourth inning, brand new game.
Look, you can't have two historic games and drop them. It was the cycle that Nolan Arenado hit for yesterday. You lose that ball game. You have 4 home runs in a row in the first inning, and then allow the Phillies to get back into this one. It's time to get back into the offense. Gibson's starting to move the ball around a little bit better. He's got better feel for his cutter and his sinker right now. Jump on him, though.
Ivan Herrera. And the first pitch taken for a strike. Jordan Hicks begins to throw in the St. Louis bullpen. Just activated before our first pitch here today. So it goes to the point we were making before. It might be just Thompson to get out of the inning, clean it up, and then start Hicks with a fresh inning. And the 1-1.
It's important to have that as a manager, those conversations that we were talking about of, hey, can you give me an out? Can you get me out of a spot here? Now Thompson gives up that double to Munoz, which hurt, but it's nice to know where you can get your outs.
And the 1-2 pitch on the ground to short. Bryson Stott is there. Well, we have a moment. Quick word from Great Southern Bank.
Did your favorite song move you a little too much? Hey, it happens. When it's time for a breather, you can turn your debit card on or off right from your phone with the Great Southern mobile app, all without missing a beat.
Well, second time through the lineup. Gave up the base hit to Tommy Edman, hit a man, walked a man, had a strikeout, but no damage done. So 1 out and nobody on for Tommy Edman. Lined out to left and a base hit to center. Fastball, then strike 1. Edman shoots the gap out in left center, but coming on to make the catch, Matt Vierling. So twice Edman is flied into the glove of Vierling. Brendan Donovan 0 for 2, robbed on a really fine play by Stott up the middle, the shortstop, and fly to center 0 for 2. Key in this game for Matthew Liberatore was the fact that the bottom of the lineup did all the damage against him primarily. Top 4 in the lineup went 1 for 7. And the bottom 5, 7 for 8. A couple of doubles and a triple.
Yeah, and just a lot of pitches elevated, just missing spots. Can't get away with that.
And Donovan goes down to get it, and a fly ball into right field. Castellanos there in a 1-2-3 inning for Gibson. Midway through 4, and we're tied at 5. July 16th, Cardinals and the Reds. That day, 25,000 fans ages 16 and older take home a mystery jersey that features the nicknames of various great Cardinals courtesy of Maryville University. And pick up tickets at cardinals.com/promotions. Well, Thompson at least starts the inning. You get the lefty-lefty matchup here with Schwarber. And then it's Hoskins and Castellanos. Schwarber has struck out twice, 0 for 2. And on the first pitch, hits it into center. And Carlson is under it to make the catch. And the first out here in the home half of the 4th. And Ollie goes back to his pen. So Hoskins introduced, and Thompson giving the Cardinals 2/3 of an inning. And we'll step aside. Cardinals jumped out to a 5-0 lead, thanks in part to 4 consecutive home runs in the first inning. The Chevy called to the pen, and good to see this guy back, Jordan Hicks, not in the rotation, but coming now out of the bullpen.
Well, you think about a huge factor that he can be wherever he ends up. If it's middle relief now, he certainly has the stuff, and he has been at the back end of bullpens before. So good to be able to get him back. Went back-to-back games in his assignment at AAA Memphis. Second one didn't go as well. Ended up giving up 5 runs in his 1 inning. But the key was, is he healthy? Does he feel good? The answer was yes. They bring him back. A nice addition to this pitching staff.
So get Hoskins and Castellanos. 1 out, nobody on. Hoskins is walked and popped out to short with 2 runners on to end the second inning.
Well, be careful on this first pitch. He jumped Ovieto's first pitch when he came into the ball game. Might want to be slider ready.
And going with a fastball at 99 and a strike. Well, this guy could be a big weapon for the Cardinals.
99 with sink and a wipeout slider, I'd say so.
Yeah. Foul back. Kind of guy that could come in middle relief, settle a game down one way or another. But also, hey, if some of your guys at the back end are down, he's in the mix to close games out.
Yeah, no reason to believe he shouldn't be. I think Ollie's done a really good job of utilizing those pieces at the back end. It hasn't been the colored by numbers. Okay, you get this, you get that. It's what matchups are best, who's fresh. He can extend each one of these guys.
And Hoskins taking forever to get in the box. Then he got in, called time, stepped back out. And here's the 0-2 pitch by Hicks. The 1-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. It backs up for a ball. Hicks as a starter, we saw as they tried to build him up, ease him in, but control was an issue.
Well, 2 sliders now. He's pulled one across and then had one back up. Just got to let the grip do the work. Don't try to throw it so hard.
And the 3-2. Fly ball into right center, and calling for it, Carlson. The second out here in the 4th. Hey, Cat, what do you have for us?
Well, Jordan Hicks says he's fine going back in the pen. Hicks told me, I was in the bullpen for my first season and a half. Now I'm back out there. I told the team, I told Ollie, I told Mad Dog, I want to do whatever the team needs. I just want to get out and help the team get W's. And Danny, the main thing that Hicks said, he feels great. His arm feels fine.
All right, Jimmy, thank you. And I know you've been signing a lot of autographs, taking pics back in Philly, so appreciate the reporting. Watch out. Well, he hasn't had a feel for that slider, has he?
Well, another one that just backs up out of the hand. Scary place to miss. I don't care what the pitch is, and certainly no intent. It's a good look at the hand there. The ball coming out of his hand. You just see him under the pitch as opposed to fingers being on top of it. I'd say a well-located sinker away would be good here.
And the 1-0 pitch to Nicholas Castellanos. Hit to the right side against the shift and a base hit. 10 Hopper gets through and a base hit.
Well, disappointing. You throw the sinker, you get the ground ball. Back to Jim Hayes' point, though, he must be healthy. That's 103 miles an hour on the sinker. Gets the weak contact, just finds an open spot.
Realmuto is lined to right and also singled and scored back in the 3rd. Phillies, their 9th hit of the contest, out hit the Cardinals 9-6 thus far, and we're tied 5-5. Fastball at 102. Well, now back in the bullpen, he can, let it fly, which as a starter he still was throwing hard. As a matter of fact, he had 78 pitches at 100 or higher. So
yeah, let it fly as long as you can throw strikes, right?
Yes.
And keep the ball down. That's the key with him. He throws hard, but he's most effective, like most are, at the bottom of the zone with his sinker.
Just noted some of the Phillies in their dugout. You got a right-handed batter, guy throwing 102, hit 103 by the way on the base hit by Castellanos, and some of them decided, you know what, I'm going to get behind the screen of the dugout.
Yeah, I'm not going to do that top step thing anymore. No, I got your back, but I want to do it from back here. That's where you need to be all day. I'm not going to hit that. 103 with sink right at the bottom of the zone. The only thing that he can do with that ball is beat it into the ground.
And the 1-2 pitch. There's also pressure on the catcher Herrera just to simply catch the ball. They talk about how difficult Hicks is to catch because of the velocity, but the sink.
I was just thinking about him as well. That is a lot to cover, especially just coming back off the IL. You know that he's not going to be spotting up exactly where he wants. You get one that sails on you, you got to be able to corral it.
And the 2-2. Very light rain begins to fall here in Philly. Notice the grounds crew a couple of times. The head groundskeeper going to our crew chief to show him his phone. He's got an app, shows the weather, what's coming in, what's going out in between innings. The 2-2, watch out. Thank goodness for that screen.
Yeah, I'm glad they did that around Major League Baseball.
Took too long, really.
It did. Well, this is a spot after a couple of really good fastballs down in the zone. Jordan Hicks, if he's feeling it, that slider, you get him to swing at. You started on the outer third.
And the 2-2. Ground ball that's hit to Tommy Edman, and he'll flip to Gorman for the out in the force. Scoreless inning put up by Hicks and Thompson. We're 5-5 as we head to the 5th. Was made. Nolan Arenado going down to get it. The first of 4 consecutive home runs. Arenado 2-run shot. Gorman his 7th. Juan Yepez with number 10 for the rookie, and then Dylan Carlson off the scoreboard in right. No doubt about it, 4 consecutive home runs. The BJC difference maker. Cardinals jumped out to a 5-0 lead, and the Phillies have come back with 5 unanswered. We're tied up 5-5 in the 5th.
Well, I like seeing those highlights, but I'd rather see some deja vu. Get back to work. Keep attacking. Kyle Gibson's doing a better job. He's moving the ball around, not missing as much. By the way, when you go back and you look at those home runs, some pretty darn good pitches down in the zone. Cardinals had a really good approach against Gibson early on. They were looking for the ball down and were able to drive it. Let's see if they can keep that up here.
Goldschmidt, a base hit with 2 strikes, scored on the Arenado home run in the first, and also hit by a pitch. He'll lead it off. It's Goldie, Arenado, and Gorman. And Kyle Gibson has stayed in this game. The first pitch of the 5th inning. Breaking ball, then a strike.
Well, it certainly didn't feel like a game that Kyle Gibson was going to outlast Matthew Liberatore, as he did surrender the 5 in the first inning with the 4 home runs in a row. But here we are.
And the 0-1 pitch. The 1-1. 2 balls and a strike. Well, hitters count here. Let's see if Goldie can have a little fun with this next pitch. His next home run will be also the 20th of this 2022 season. The 2-1. And Goldie drives it into deep right field. It is over Castellanos, and Goldschmidt on his way to second base. A leadoff double for Goldie. On base for the 3rd time in this game. And for Goldschmidt, that is his 26th double already of the season.
Just love his ability and his willingness to go the other way. That's a pitch that's middle and just lets it travel and drives it. Hits this thing with authority to right field. You see a lot of guys around the league, even guys that are having a lot of success, they get just totally pull happy. I say, I'm going to try to yank everything to the pull side. Goldie doesn't do that.
And here is Nolan Arenado. Oh, hanging breaking ball that Nolan would love to have that one back.
His eyes lit up on that one. You don't see too many pitches up at the top of the strike zone against Gibson.
284 the average with runners in scoring position. Go ahead run is out at second base, and Paul Goldschmidt. And the 0-1. Got him. So he's hit by the pitch, and that's the 2nd Cardinal that's been hit. Runners at first and second for Nolan Gorman. The other Cardinal was Paul Goldschmidt, who was just nicked on the jersey back in the 2nd inning. Stretching now in the Phillies bullpen. No one up and throwing. No one throwing for St. Louis.
Well, Nolan's having a little conversation with the Phillies dugout as well.
Stubby Clapp just waving them off, the first base coach of the Cardinals. kind of like, you know, get out of here. I don't want to hear it.
Well, make it hurt. Make it hurt even more.
First pitch to Nolan Gorman. And it's taken high. So Gorman, the home run and a walk in this ball game today. And the next by Gibson. Did not go. 2 balls and no strikes, and Gibson kind of shaking his head. He thought he had a strike.
Yeah, getting frustrated. That one right at the top of the zone. Borderline pitch goes Gorman's way. Now Gorman's in a count where he can let it rip a little bit.
3, 4, and 5 hitters so far in the series. 11 hits and a .647 average. 3 doubles, a triple, 3 homers. Doing damage. The next to Nolan Gorman. Off the plate, 3-0. Well, you know, you give him the green light.
Oh, you see something you can drive, young man, let it go. This guy's got game-changing power. Now, funny enough, Gibson has had the most success this year against 3, 4, 5 in the order. He held those guys to a 175 average throughout the season coming into today.
The 3-0 pitch to Nolan Gorman. Bases are loaded and nobody out. Second time that Gorman has walked today. Gibson has walked to both the Cardinals second baseman both times, and now bases loaded and Juan Yepez. Like you said just moments ago, make them pay. Inning started with a double by Goldschmidt. That was his 100th hit of the year. 10th season with 100 or more hits. 5th time he's done that pre-All-Star break. Then Arenado hit by a pitch. Gorman walks on 4 straight pitches. Yepez only his 2nd plate appearance with the bases loaded in his young career at the major league level. And then Real Muto out to buy a little time here for their bullpen to get loose and ready.
Yeah, you wouldn't think it would take Corey Knebel too long to get ready. Sure, he's been stretching, looming out there. That's going to be it for Gibson.
Yep. So Gibson 4+. Former Brewer, Cub Corey Knebel dealt with injuries last year, and he'll come into the ball game with the bases loaded, nobody out. Juan Yepez coming up for St. Louis. Corey Knebel is in, the bases loaded. Juan Yepez stepping to the plate. Yepez today has hit a solo home run to left back in the 1st inning. Also popped out to short with a runner at 1st. And so now the base is loaded. For his major league career, Knebel has struck out over 32% of the batters he's faced. He was brought in to be the closer. He's got 11 saves, but then has been removed from that spot. And it's our Chevy call to the pen.
Well, Corey Knebel's got a good fastball. He runs it up there in the mid-90s. Got a good curveball as well. That's what he's going to go with. Really a 1-2 punch for Knebel.
Inning started with a double by Goldie. Arenado hit by a pitch. Gorman walked for the 2nd time. And what a chance here for young Juan Yepez. Do a little damage. Opponents with runners in scoring position against Knebel hitting over 300. And time called. We're in the 5th of a 5-5 game. Yepez on the first pitch pops it up. Infield fly, catch made. 1 away.
I don't mind being aggressive on a fastball in the zone, but you got to be sure you can get to it.
Now Carlson, the solo home run back in the first, struck out looking in the third, and time called. Lefty's only hitting 190 against Knebel. Phillies with a shift. Third baseman in on the grass. And the first pitch taken for a strike with a fastball. Some way, somehow, got to break the 5-5 tie. Rain is picked up, the 0-1. 1 ball and 1 strike.
That fastball's got good life to it. Almost appears to be rising in there. That was the same one with Yepez. Really just rode in on him. He likes to throw that good curveball off of these elevated fastballs as well.
The 1-1. Knebel, originally with Detroit back in 2014, found a home for many seasons with Milwaukee. Last season with the Dodgers. And then signed to come to Philly. 1-2 the count. Dylan Carlson. Bases loaded. 1 down. The next. Outside corner and got him.
Everything in the at bat, up, fastballs up. The thought process, I'm sure, from Dylan Carlson is, all right, I got to catch up to this heater, or I got to be aware of the breaking ball. He spots up 96 on the corner, down. Not sure if that was the intent, but the pitch was perfect.
Lars Nootbaar 0 for 2, fly to left, fly to center. Bases loaded and 2 outs. Breaking ball. That's taken high. The next. Nootbaar pops it up and left side into the seats. Citizens Bank Park. Evens it up at 1 ball and 1 strike. And the 1-1 to Nootbaar. 2 balls and a strike. That is the big swing pitch. You go to either 2-1 or 1-2, and it takes a little pressure off Nootbaar potentially because the bases are loaded.
Well, Noot has showed that ability to have that nice level swing early and often last year. He was jumping on fastballs up in the zone.
Has to come with a strike here. 3-1. Knebel came in, bases loaded, nobody out. Got Yepez on the first pitch to pop out to third. Then Carlson caught looking, and now 3 balls, 1 strike on Nootbaar. The next from the Philly right-hander. He walks in a run. And the Cardinals have regained the lead. It's now 6-5.
Well, sometimes you hit 4 home runs in an inning, back to back to back to back, and other times you need a little help. Get a little help here from Knebel. And in the inning, really, Nolan Arenado was hit by a pitch. Gorman walks before Knebel comes into the game.
Ivan Herrera struck out swinging back in the second on a slider, and also grounded out to short. Taken high, ball 1. It was the Cardinals' second bases loaded walk this season. Big gap in left center. The 1-0. 2 balls and no strikes.
Just one of those games, right when you think you know what's going to happen, it shifts dramatically. That was the case in the first inning with 2 quick outs and then the 5 runs.
The 2-0 tapped foul, not what you're looking for on a 2-0 pitch with the bases loaded.
No, 2-0, if you're swinging, you're swinging.
Yep. All part of the process of, young kid put in this spot.
Yeah.
Cardinals, since the 1st of June, their catchers combined have 12 hits. They're 12 for 97.
That's not ideal.
No, sir. The 2-1. Evens it up 2-2. From 2-0 now to 2-2. And Herrera looks at a pitch high, bases loaded. 3-2. Runners off with the pitch. Arenado, Gorman, and Nootbaar. Can the young catcher come through? His time is called. That's a veteran move there. A little pressure on the pitcher after already a bases loaded walk.
I like it. Take your time.
The next, fouled away. We'll do it again.
Well, we've already seen some poise here from Ivan Herrera. Remember, a couple days ago, James Nail made his major league debut. He's out there calming him down, hand on the shoulders. Hey, man, you got this. Big moment, whatever. He's been here 2 weeks. He's already got that part of it figured out. Let's see if he can add to that RBI total. Got his first one on Saturday.
3-2. And Herrera pops it up. Playable in foul territory. And Hoskins makes the catch. But the Cardinals receive a bases loaded walk. Lars Nootbaar, and they have regained the lead. Chance to get discounted Cardinals tickets, 8 or more gallons of gas at a participating station using the My Phillips 66 app and get up to 50% off Cardinals tickets. And for more information, visit phillips66gas.com/Cardinals. The Cardinals had bases loaded and nobody out. Knebel did the hard part. He got the first 2 without anybody scoring and then walked in a run. So St. Louis now with a 6-5 lead.
Oh, you were given a little bit of a gift there. Can you make it stand up? Still a long way to go in this ball game that's been very unpredictable. He goes a slider for a strike. Elevated a little bit, but still got better feel for it. We've seen Hicks at 103 multiple times in this game already with good sink.
Alec Bohm. And a count of 1 ball and 1 strike. Playing here in the home half of the 5th. Bohm is 2 for 2 with 2 runs scored. Hicks able to knock it down. And is he on the bag? Apparently he is. What a play by Goldie. Avoiding the collision and somehow staying on the bag. Thank goodness he isn't hurt.
Yeah, that's a scary moment. Anytime a throw takes you into the line with anybody, it's scary. Goldie, the best player in the league. You certainly don't want to see him getting hurt on this one, and you hope everything's fine with Hicks on the throw.
How does he stay on the bag?
No clue. The guy's he's the best around the bag in baseball.
Oh, yeah, he got the right foot down. I don't know how he did it, but he did. There it is. Wow. Great play. That's how you get your first baseman injured, too. He took his time a little bit, and you know a seed is coming your way. You have no time to hardly react and make an adjustment, but he does and makes the play.
Yeah, good play by Goldie for sure.
Here's Fearling with 2 sacrifice flies. He's driven in 2. And the 0-1 slider outside, low and away. Very light rain falling here at the ballpark, and that's a strike at 101. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Not sure Matt saw that at CBC High School.
Yeah, chances are probably not.
Probably not.
Yeah, or at Notre Dame.
Puts it in play on the ground to Arenado. Well, we have a moment. Quick word from St. Louis Children's.
St. Louis Children's Hospital, the only place where Washington University physicians have gathered from across the globe, discovering and developing life-changing treatments for kids.
Odubel Herrera, infield single off the glove of Nolan Gorman on a backhanded attempt. Was able to beat it out, scored, and then a base hit to center and scored on the double by Munoz. Well, these two hooked up a couple of years ago in St. Louis. You may recall it was a Sunday afternoon, and Jordan was feeling pretty good that day. Look at the movement at 105. And remember, Herrera would step out and take about, I would imagine 35-40 seconds between pitches, and finally they got the strikeout, but he got to the bag at first and picks up a base hit here to left as Donovan cuts it off, and Herrera is 3 for 3.
Well, that one was 102, but it was elevated right there, a little bit more or easier for Herrera to be able to see as he drives it out in the left, and the rain's starting to pick up here. Anything up in the zone, even at 102, as crazy as it is, it's just easier to see.
The pitcher really does provide the power in that particular situation at 102.
Just a nice, easy swing.
Yep. There's Munoz, who's got 2 hits, 2 for 2 with a pair of doubles. Good slider. And he also brought in 2. That was against Zach Thompson. Those runs, though, charged to Matthew Liberator, who went 2 2/3. Thompson 2/3 of an inning. And Hicks trying to make it an inning and 2/3. As he fires over to first and Herrera back in.
I really like what I saw out of that first pitch slider there to Munoz. That was the good tight breaker. That one backs up.
And it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Munoz was let go by the Cardinals right before baseball was shut down. It was like a week or 10 days before the baseball season in 2020 was stopped during spring training. Backs up for a ball and a count of 2-1. Packy Naughton throwing in the St. Louis bullpen. You've got Stott, left-handed batter, on deck, and then Schwarber. A couple of lefties, and then the righty Hoskins. And Packy is the last available lefty in the Cardinals pen.
Well, you mentioned it earlier. Would Ollie go to his pen early, knowing you got Waino going tomorrow and wanting to get this one?
And a ground ball hit to Gorman. And good work by Jordan Hicks. Inning at 2/3 of scoreless baseball at 6-5. The Cardinals' upcoming schedule presented by Budweiser. Nationally televised game tomorrow. And then the Cardinals have 4 with the Atlanta Braves. And note, the game on Wednesday is nationally televised, and Mike Claiborne, Rick Horton, and John Rooney will have those games for you on the Cardinals Radio Network tomorrow and Wednesday. We're back to local TV Monday, Tuesday, and then Thursday throughout. It's our Chevy call to the pen. Andrew Bellotti saw him pitch in the ball game last night. 21 pitches. So Phillies going with Bellotti here in the 6th. Knebel came in with nobody out. The bases loaded in the 5th. Did have the bases loaded walk issue to Lars Nootbaar to score Paul Goldschmidt, and right now that's the difference, 6-5.
Yeah, still feel like you look at that as a huge missed opportunity. You did get the one in, but a chance to break the doors open. Bellotti was solid yesterday. You mentioned the pitches that he threw, punched out 2 in that inning. Let's see who wins this battle of the bullpens.
Bellotti pitched with Tampa Bay, came up in 2015. He was injured for 2 seasons, did not pitch in 17 and 18. He was in Tampa briefly in 19, did not pitch in 2020 during the shutdown, and then in 21, only 3 games with Miami last year. And Tommy Edman greets him with a base hit to left.
Well, Tommy jumps on the first pitch again, just like he did in the 2nd inning against Kyle Gibson. This time it's a fastball that's elevated. Tommy doesn't waste any time up there.
Nope. It's a pitch to hit. He goes after it. So 2-hit day for the Cardinal leadoff man. And now Brendan Donovan, who is hitless today. Grounded out to short, fly to center, and fly to right. And the first pitch, taken for a strike. He is 1-3 to the plate. You get to 1-4, and that's when you start to think about, do we want to take a chance? Do you want to steal with Tommy Edman? $19 stolen bases this year. And a breaking ball. Misses. Bellotti, it's interesting. I mean, here he is coming up in the big leagues with Tampa Bay all the way back in 2015. He's been in professional ball since 2009. He came into this season with a total of 83 days of major league service.
That's a long road right there. Never know when you're going to find a landing spot, though, and then find your stride.
Dealt with shoulder issues for the better part of his career. He's been in the Tampa organization, the Orioles, Yankees, Marlins, and now with the Phillies after signing a minor league contract in the offseason. And Donovan pops it foul and out of play. Jordan Hicks, by the way, 18 pitches over 100 miles per hour here today, and he hit 103.4 twice.
Yeah, you got to be so happy to see that, and the life that is on some of those pitches. That feel for the slider, he's going to get that back. But just having that type of arm looming in the bullpen, are you kidding me? It's perfect.
And the 1-2 pitch to Donovan. Lifts a fly ball down the left field line, slicing near the sidewall, and it is caught. Matt Vierling with the catch. Well, how valuable is this young man? He was telling me last night was his 2nd ever start at the big leagues at third base. He can play short. He can play second. He can play the corner outfield. He thinks that they may use him at center at some point if need be, and he comes up with a great play.
That's a fantastic play. I really thought that Vierling was going to run out of room. Did a really nice job of finding the wall there with the bare hand. Knows exactly where he's at. He gets up and makes the play.
If you have versatility, you can find a spot for players like that on your roster.
Well, don't the Cardinals know it?
Yeah. Here's Goldschmidt. Paul has been on base 3 times, 2 hits, and was hit by a pitch. He scored 2 runs. Single to center and a double to right, his 26th of the year. The first pitch. Fastball and a strike. The 0-1. No balls, 2 strikes. So Hicks twice with the hardest pitch thrown in baseball this season. And to your point, big weapon, and fairly soon you're going to get Genesis Cabrera back too.
Yeah, watch out. All of a sudden, that bullpen's look good. And look, the addition of Thompson and Oviedo's had some nice moments in this pen too. They've really helped solidify things, that bridge to the back end. Yeah, the big thing with Hicks is, remember, part of the putting him in the rotation was they believed that he could build up, and a better way to keep him healthy. So we'll see how he's utilized, how many days off. There's going to have to be a lot of communication there between player and the staff.
Outfield very deep. No balls, 2 strikes on Goldie. Edman, your runner at first. The 1-2 pitch to Paul Goldschmidt. Hit out of play. Well, Bryce Harper, the Phillies do not expect him back until maybe at the earliest mid-August. They fired their manager. Rob Thompson took over. And since that happened back on June 3rd, the Phillies have gone 19-8 in 27 games, playing much better.
Kind of crazy how that happens sometimes. It's not Joe Girardi's fault that they were struggling, but sometimes something needs to change.
Yep.
Can't get rid of your whole team, can you?
Nope.
So oftentimes that ends up being the answer.
The 1-2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Maybe a different voice, different way to prepare. Just something to shake it up.
Yeah. Well, and you understand the frustration. You go out there and you pour a lot of money into this ball club, go out, sign guys, Castellanos, Schwarber, to your point, and you expect winning. And they did not do much winning early on in this season. They've snapped things around. Very tough division, though. You got the Mets, got the Braves, just battling for a wild card currently.
The 2-2. And Goldschmidt lifts a high fly ball into left center. Barely the catch. And the first time that Goldie's been retired today. In steps Arenado, who's hit a 2-run homer back in the first. Lined out to left and was hit by a pitch in the 5th. How do you think Ali can cover from the 6th inning on with a 1-run lead?
Look, I think you still got your weapons. You got your guys, got Gallegos, got Helsley. Feel pretty good about that. You could extend either or both of those if you really needed to in this ball game with Wainwright going tomorrow.
2 outs, runner at first. Strike 1. It's been Gibson, Knebel, and now Bellotti for the Phillies. The pitching side of things, the 0-1 ticking high. One ball and one strike.
So another guy who's been impressive as we've looked at this bullpen is Junior Fernandez. How good has he been?
Yes, that might be the direction you go.
He's shown you nothing but the ability to get outs since being recalled.
And the 1-1 pitch to Nolan Arenado. We've seen a change in what Junior is throwing, and with that, it's a big difference.
Yeah, really working that sinker more, getting good action on the pitch. His breaking ball is good as well, but it's command. It's just being within the strike zone. You're not going to get swings, and you're not going to get these borderline calls if you're all over the place.
The 2-1, not 2-2. Would be a bad time to try to send Tommy, and if he gets caught, then you got Arenado leading off next inning. Why not?
Well, you could also see that same exact scenario, right? A slider down, and Arenado puts it in the gap, and Tommy scores easily.
Yep. The 2-2, Edman is running, and it's pulled foul. Went back with the slider, stayed away. So Edman running on this pitch with 2 outs and a full count.
Yeah, Nolan is so tough because that slider right there, if you throw it for a strike down and away, well, he showed you against Gibson, he could park that thing. You got to get him to extend a little bit. I actually liked a couple of pitches ago the fastball in that he threw. Wasn't really trying to go in, but I thought it was a good change.
And the 3-2 pitch, outfield deep. The next stayed away. Oh, and they ring him up. Wow. By authority of the St. Louis Cardinals, not to be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the St. Louis Cardinals. The crinkle fries. 6-5 St. Louis. Rain seems to be getting out of the area, and the Phillies about hit the Cardinals 10-8. And they'll face their 4th different St. Louis pitcher. It's Packy Naughton into the ball game, and he'll have Stott, Schwarber, and Hoskins due up in the home half of the 6th. Do you think he went on that check swing?
No, I didn't. And Nolan was hot, and rightfully so.
And the first pitch floats up high and away for a ball.
Well, Packy Naughton, Chevy called the bullpen, worked a scoreless 8 last night. Actually, the first batter that he faced was Stott, got him to ground out to second base.
And a strike. The next by Packy, a fastball taken high. Matthew Liberatore went 2 2/3, 7 hits, 5 runs, all earned. Walked 1, struck out 3. Thompson came in with 2 outs, 2 on in the third. Gave up a double to Herrera that scored 2. Those were charged to Liberatore. Wound up giving the Cardinals 2/3 of an inning. Hicks an inning and a third of scoreless baseball, and now Packy Naughton. So again, you have a short start, and you're going to have to piece it together. Up and in. So the leadoff walk to Stott. For the best coverage in the game, let's check out the T-Mobile coverage cam, and we take a look at the appearance back in the big leagues. Jordan Hicks.
Well, how nice is it to have this arm back? First of all, he's throwing 103 miles an hour. He's got the sink on it. Threw a couple of good sliders in this as well. Got his ground balls. And you know this, he's going to fit just fine in this bullpen. His ability to extend past 1 inning is huge, and the lights out arm. Welcome back, Jordan Hicks.
And the first pitch to Schwarber, a strike. 0 for 3 with a pair of strikeouts. And the 0-1. Cardinals would love the double play here. The 1-1 outside. 2 balls and 1 strike on Schwarber. With Hoskins on deck. You have the 3-batter minimum to start the inning, so Naughton will face Schwarber here, Hoskins, and then the decision to make for Ollie. Leadoff walk to Stott. Beginning play here in the 6th. Arenado well off the line, way outside. It's something we haven't seen a lot of, a lack of control with Packy Naughton. 3 balls, 1 strike.
No, you're right. Packy's been filling up the zone. He's been working fast, throwing a lot of strikes out of the bullpen. I know that Schwarber is one of those guys that you do want to be careful with, but you can also trust your stuff. You execute a pitch, you can get him.
Cardinals have turned at least 1 double play in 10 straight games. And the 3-1 to Schwarber. 3-2. And in those 10 straight games, there's been 15 double plays on the ground turned by St. Louis.
Oh, it's really, I mean, it saved them. This defense behind them, executing pitches when you really need it.
And the 3-2 pitch from Packy Naughton. Now time called. Granted late. Big shift on Schwarber. Arenado is closer to second than he is third. 3 infielders on the right side. Outfield is deep. 3-2 pitch. Got him. Strikeout of Schwarber. 3rd time he has struck out today. Plaza Tire Service, Pitch Tracks.
Just a good located fastball right here from Packy Naughton. Down and away. Get him in swing mode. You stay right there. I don't care how good a hitter is. You stay down with your fastball on the corners. You're going to have success.
Now Rhys Hoskins has walked, popped out to short with 2 runners on back in the 2nd, and fly to center. Junior Fernandez has been throwing, so he's ready to go. Have to think he would have Castellanos if we get there.
I would think so as well. Talking about how dominant he's been lately.
And a strike. Evens it up at 1 ball and 1 strike. Right-handers 13 for 39 against Naughton. That's a .333 average. He's made a couple of spot starts for St. Louis and now coming out of the pen. The 1-1 gets through Herrera.
Change up from Packy Naughton. It's down, it's in the dirt, but it's got to be blocked. You got to be able to keep that one in front of you, keep your double play in order.
Wild pitch charged to Packy Naughton. It's a tying run in scoring position. Off the glove of Naughton to Nolan Gorman. Can't get it out of the glove, and the transition. Runners at the corners and 1 out. It's ruled a base hit for Hoskins. He's on base for the 2nd time, and the batter will be Nick Castellanos. We'll see the Cardinals go back to their pen.
Packy Naughton made his pitch. Couldn't quite get to that ball himself. Had plenty of time right there until the transfer. And we'll see if Junior can get him out of this.
Nick Castellanos coming up with runners at 1st and 3rd, and Junior Fernandez coming into the game. Into the ball game it is Junior Fernandez. A reminder that Shark Week and Shark Week night is coming up. The Nolan Arenado bobblehead. It's a Monday, July 11th, presented by St. Louis Aquarium at Union Station. Come get your bobblehead. Cardinals.com. So the Cardinals started with Matthew Liberatore, went to Thompson, then Hicks, Naughton, and now Fernandez. Chevy called to the pen. Been 8 pitchers used combined in this game.
Well, we're going to see whose bullpen is deeper. Junior Fernandez has turned into a real weapon for the Cardinals. Since being recalled in his last 4 games, has not given up a run, has not given up a hit up to this point. 2 innings last time out against Miami. Solid in a couple of games against the Cubs as well.
So that's 19 batters, 6 in the 3rd. No hits, no runs, only 1 walk. That's a big key for Junior, and he struck out 5. Righties are 2 for 20, and the lefties hitless.
We've seen it the last couple of years. You've seen the arm, and you've had the oohs and ahs on certain pitches that he throw, but he didn't have the ability to repeat it. I think that he's done a very good job of just ironing out some mechanics, as you mentioned earlier, changing his pitch arsenal a bit, throwing more of that sinker, and just letting it work.
Castellanos is grounded into 9 double plays. It's 1 for 2 with a double against Junior, and he's tied the game up. Base hit out to left, and we're tied at 6.
Well, first pitch, hanging slider from Junior here, trying to get this pitch down and away, ends up center cut. And Castellanos just stays back on it and drives in a run.
2 hits in the inning, a walk and a strikeout. Runners at 1st and 2nd, JT Realmuto. It's still just 1 out. Strike 1. Realmuto is lined out to right. a base hit to left and scored in the third and grounded into a fielder's choice. And the 0-1. Last time up, it was just all sinkers for Realmuto, and that was against Hicks. And we'll see how the Cardinals want to play it in this at bat. Fouled back. Inning started with a walk, then a strikeout, infield hit. Then Castellanos the RBI single to left. The 1-2 pitch by Junior Fernandez. Good play by Herrera to keep it in front. Runner stay put. Double play still in order.
He bounces over there. It's a hard slider in the dirt at 91. Really has to work to get in front of it. So he's shown Realmuto a few sliders in this at bat, elevated with a fastball. I like a good sinker down the way. You mentioned it before, how Hicks approached him. Now I guess that's easy when you got 103. Well, Junior's sitting on 99. That's nothing to scoff at.
And the 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. A strikeout. 5th strikeout by the Phillies today. Alec Bohm will come up with 2 runners on and 2 down.
Gassed him up in the zone. Forget the sinker down the way. He said, let me let it rip up high. Got some big arms down there in that pen.
2 on, 2 outs. Bohm had the triple off the wall in right. And the single in shallow right, and a diming attempt by the right fielder today for St. Louis, Nootbaar. And then grounded back to the pitcher. 2 for 3. 2 runs scored. And that'll be a foul ball. The lights now have taken a little bit of effect here at Citizens Bank Park as we approach 7 on the East Coast.
Just glad those thunderstorms stayed away.
You bet.
Looked like they were in the area. Got a heavier rain for a minute, but nothing to stop any play.
And the 0-1 pitch by Fernandez. Fly ball in the air, right center, calling for Dylan Carlson. Fernandez gets the final 2 outs here in this 6th inning, but a single and a run batted in for Castellanos, tied at 6. On Valley Sports Midwest, brought to you by Ford, the official car and truck of the Cardinals. BJC Healthcare, the world's best medicine made better. And by Budweiser, this Bud's for you. Well, it's just tremendous camera work there in the slow-mo replay of the Arenado home run. That's awesome. Good look. Good work. Jose Alvarado is into the ballgame, the hard-throwing lefty. And he'll get Gorman, Yepez, and the switch hitter Carlson. Saw him last night.
Punched out 2 in his 2/3 of an inning. Also walked a batter. When you look at late in ball games, Dan, this is where the Cardinals really need to strike. They've had their struggles in late innings, 7 through 9. Just the offense has not been there for them.
Well, maybe it starts now. The Gateway Honda home run inning. Cardinals hit a home run. The Gateway Honda dealers donate $1,000 to the Make-A-Wish Foundation of Missouri. Cal Gibson pitched into the 5th, did not record an out. It was Knebel, Bellotti, and now Alvarado coming out of the pen for the Phils. Nolan Gorman back in the first inning and a home run out to right. He was the second of 4 consecutive home runs hit by St. Louis.
There's a sweet swing right there.
And the 1-0 pitch. 1 ball and 1 strike. Lefty's actually hitting above 300 against Alvarado.
That's very surprising, looking at how uncomfortable he can be. He's throwing 100 miles an hour, has that slider that starts on top of you. He works from the far first base side, so on top of that left-handed hitter.
.99 and it's 2 balls and 1 strike. Gorman a couple of walks to go along with that home run and on base 3 times. Two strikes.
I got to tell you, Dan, I figured this was going to be a game where the Cardinals are going to score about 12 or 15.
Way it started.
But now offense is tough to come by. They're going to have to squeeze out another tight ball game.
Cardinals have not been a great come from behind team, and it seems like if they hit that big inning, it just quiets down. The 2-2 pitch. The inning that you look back to and you say, boy, it's got to be more than 1 run, is when you have the bases loaded, nobody out.
Yeah, I mean, you were gifted a run by a Knebel walk, but certainly more there. You look at the last 3 losses for the Cardinals, really kind of all disappointing. A couple heartbreakers, especially the one against Miami on Wednesday, the 2-run home run off of Helsley by Garcia.
If he's able to center up a fastball, may go 500 feet. 3-2 pitch. Looks at a ball low. Did not go, and the Cardinals get their leadoff man on. That's a 3rd walk for Nolan Gorman in this game.
It's a good sign. Seeing him take his walks. Not going out there trying to be too aggressive, be hero, especially after hitting a home run in his first at bat. You think young player, maybe he tries to get big, but we saw that in his game against Milwaukee. Could have gone out there, tried to hit another home run, had a slider away, said, all right, I'll just go that way. I'll take what you're giving me.
Solo home run for Yepez in the first inning, popped out to short. The first pitch by Knebel with nobody out, bases loaded, popped out to 3rd. Then Knebel struck out Carlson, and it was the bases loaded walk by Newbar that gave the Cardinals at that time a 6-5 lead. Phillies have tied it up. And a strike to Juan Yepez. The righties 250 the average against Alvarado. He's allowed 1 home run this year. The 0-1. One ball and 1 strike.
Dan, the Cardinals come into action today, 2 games back of the Brewers, and you're looking at, I mean, it's going to be a tight division. It's going to come down to the wire, and you look at different things that can separate teams, mentioning the offense, 7 through 9 in the innings. Cardinals have a -4 run differential in 7 through 9. This certainly obviously is the pitching involved as well. But the Brewers have, and that's 17th in all of baseball. The Brewers are a +39.
Wow.
So you're looking at little differences, right? It's the back end of the ball game. Now they have got Devin Williams and Hader sitting out there, but your back end of your bullpen is really good too. When are you scoring your runs, though? Can you tack them on late?
Those are two teams, Milwaukee, St. Louis, pretty evenly matched in many of the categories, including wins and losses head to head. The 1-2 and a strikeout of Yepez. While we have a moment, quick word from Ryan Kelly.
This
Ryan Kelly.
Can you believe this guy started his business like that, just knocking on doors?
Now he's the best in the industry. Ryan Kelly, thehomeloanexpert.com.
Dylan Carlson here in the 7th inning with a runner at first and one out. And the home run from the other side of the plate. And the next two plate appearances, couple of strikeouts. And strike one. Phillies will have Bierling, Herrera, and Munoz coming up in the 7th inning. No one throwing for St. Louis in the bullpen, so looks like Junior Fernandez, who came in with 1 out, 2 on in the 6th. The 0-1 pitch. Carlson hits it down the left field line and out of play.
Well, Dylan Carlson has been really good from this side of the plate, hitting .340 against the lefties. Very comfortable there. His swing is great on both sides. I think the hands might even be a little bit quicker here from the right side. More compact swing.
I like his swing from this side of the plate, Tommy Edman as well. Strikes out here, but generally speaking, he's quicker to the ball. It seems like doesn't kind of go around as much.
Well, and the numbers bear it out for him and Tommy.
We'll see Albert Pujols pinch hit for Nootbaar. We saw the Phillies brought in Alvarado to face Albert last night. Majority of the damage done by Pujols this year has been against lefties. On the bench for the Cardinals, left side, it's Capel, Kisner, the backup catcher, from the right side, and then Sosa as well from the right side.
Well, you know this about Albert. One swing of the bat changes everything. You like his chances of squaring something up.
And Albert lifts a fly ball into left. And we stretch. Cardinals strand their 8th runner of the day. Is proud to be the official partner of the Cardinals. If your plans change, you can easily list your tickets with StubHub and use the free seller toolkit to help you manage the price of your tickets. StubHub, sell your tickets in just a few taps of your phone without any stress. Download the StubHub app today. Connor Capel takes over in right field after Nootbaar gave way to Pujols in a pinch hitting appearance. So Capel is in right for St. Louis, and that's the only change. As Fernandez continues to pitch, came in with 1 out, 2 on in the 6th. Gave up a base hit to Castellanos that scored Stott. That tied the game up at 6. That run charged though to Packy Naughton, and that pitch taken for a ball. We're underway in the home half of this 7th inning. Matt Bierling at the plate. Has brought in 2 today. Fastball high, and it's 2-0.
Well, after that first inning, really has not been too many opportunities for the Cardinals. But as you mentioned before, you got bases loaded, nobody out. You just get the one walk here. Cardinals 0 for 4 with runners in scoring position. On the flip side, Phil's 4 for 9. So they've taken advantage.
3-0. It was a leadoff walk by Naughton that came around to score last inning, and that walk came around to score and tied the game.
Tends to happen, doesn't it?
Yeah. Can't give these guys or anybody in Major League Baseball too many chances. They will make you pay.
You can't give guys too much credit either. You know, you go out there and you think you have to be perfect. You don't have to be perfect.
It's funny you say that, because I remember in talking with Al Raboski a lot on and off the air. He said, you know, one of the things I wished I would have done is, number one, just don't walk anybody. And he said that's easier said than done.
Sure is.
Obviously try not to walk anybody. But he would talk about the fact that there were times that, and he said, I'm guilty of it, I know others are, I just gave the hitter too much credit.
It's true. It's actually surprising to hear that from Al, though. So I thought Al was going to go after, well, he did go after everybody.
Yeah, he did.
Literally, figuratively.
Yeah, physically.
Oh, but there are some guys, they come with a reputation. They come with the stats.
You, really.
Yes, yeah, he would do that, yeah. But, yeah, there are some guys, it doesn't matter. You're good, too. You know, there's a reason you're out there. It's something to remember for young pitchers and veteran guys.
And a 3-2 pitch by Fernandez. Leadoff walk. So in a game in which, you know, Brad, we look at all the numbers and there's probability factors and all these different things that come into play. I was thinking about this too. Why don't we ever show somebody, okay, the best in the world that's ever played this game, the best players, they did it 3 out of 10 times. So it's in your favor that you're going to win.
Yes. No, you're right.
Why don't we ever say that?
What you always need to come back to is, and speaking from a pitcher's perspective, what do you do well? We can have all these numbers and tell you how to get this guy out, and he can't hit this, can't hit that. If you don't have that, does that mean you can't get him out? No. What do you have in a spot?
Yeah. Bierling is a threat to steal. That's outside, and a ball to Herrera, who's got 3 hits. Yeah, I mean, my best against your best. Let's do it.
Yes. And it comes down, especially late in games where the game is on the line, any pitch you throw, it's conviction in what you have. If a guy puts down some fingers that you don't like, try something else. Whatever feels good in your hand, whatever you believe in, that's the right pitch.
And the 1-0 pitch, 2 balls, no strikes. Gallegos getting loose in the St. Louis bullpen.
Well, he's shown the ability to go the other way and do so easily.
The shift on the right side for St. Louis. The 2-0 pitch to Herrera, outside, 3-0.
So 2 changeups away and a fastball away. Again, compete. Guys got a few hits here. Go right after him. Might hit it hard right at somebody.
And the 3-0. Strike.
Herrera can move a little bit too, but I like staying on that inner half. I think you can get him to roll over on a ground ball here. Maybe that's your 2 ball.
Derek Hall hits from the left side on deck. 3-1 pitch. Fernandez foul back, 3-2. And with that, Arenado has kind of set the defense right now. He's positioning Edman. He's positioned Gorman. He's talking to him. He backs up with 2 strikes. And it's also about, okay, if the ball is hit to this side, that side, who's going to get the ball on the turn?
Got to have the communication there. Last thing you want there is to get the pitch that you want, and then somebody's not in the right spot to cover a bag. I wouldn't get too cute here. Come right back with the fastball.
And the 3-2. Bierling Here's your runner at first base and back in safely. So the Phillies want to start him here on 3-2. Herrera is hit into 3 double plays. And Ivan Herrera, in his career, 27% he's caught base stealers in the minor leagues. At Memphis this year, he was 6 of 33. And the 3-2 pitch, not running, and a broken bat popped up, and the catch made. Well, he comes back to get him. Good job.
Yeah, it is. Really good job. And got in his kitchen right there. Just started working that fastball on the inner half. Again, throughout the day, he's showing you he likes to get extended. Love the idea and the ability to run that sinker in. Got some firewood.
That's getting sawed off right there. Wow. So Hall will pinch hit for Munoz. After Munoz was 2 for 3 with 2 doubles and 2 runs batted in. Well, we have a moment. Quick word from Tickets for Less.
Tickets for Less. For a better ticketing experience. Best seats, best prices, and no surprises at checkout.
Bryson Stott on deck. And Hall has 3 hits, 3 home runs in his big league career.
Well, that's pretty good odds.
Yeah.
But like you said before, game of failure. You got to run into a lot of that, especially when he hits into a double play.
Last night against the Cardinals became just the second Philly whose first 3 career hits were home runs. Ed Sinicki did so in 1949 and then did not hit another home run. And I'm going to go out on a limb, Brad, and you know, your homework last night when we got back to the team hotel was to look up Ed Sinicki and find out why he didn't hit any more.
Right.
And you didn't do that.
No, I did. He was a September call-up. He played 7 games. That's where he had those 3 home runs. And then he didn't make it back to the big leagues until 2 years later. He only had 4 at-bats in 13 games. And then Tricky Sinicki was gone.
Who gave you all that?
I got all that.
There is not a chance.
You don't worry.
I love it.
Don't call me out.
I mean, look.
Well, Tricky
none of that was true.
Doesn't matter.
It sounded great. Old Tricky Sinicki.
That's what they called him.
Who's your research guy?
That's my guy.
Well, you're a great teammate.
It's my guy Keith O'Brien.
And he's on the trip with
us. Nice work, Obes.
Obes held that back for me to make sure that you had it.
I had it yesterday, but I didn't want to jump on the game with it.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
What a partner.
Just waiting for you to deploy that.
What a partner you are. The 1-2. And a fly ball lifted out to left. Going back and making the catch on the track. It's Donovan. Hall was trying to do it again. So do you have the guy that's got 4 of them?
I have no further research at this time.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure. Because you're just rattling off stats now.
I can make something up if you need.
I'm sure you could. Well, you do most of the time anyway, don't you?
That's also true. Don't fact check any of the stuff I said. I always wonder this, Dan, if this job would be easier or harder before the internet and everybody had all of these numbers at the palm of their hand. Because, boy, you get something wrong, they let you know about it pretty quickly.
Oh, now they do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. There's somebody watching you. Guarantee that.
Yeah, but before that, before everybody had like Baseball Reference in the palm of their hands, I feel like you could have made anything up.
Oh, we did. You got to remember how many years I worked with Al.
You just get the newspaper out in front of you. And, all right, here we go.
Let's say, Al, is that true? You bet it is.
Sure
okay.
Is. You gonna look it up? No, it's true.
Brad Hand, the lefty that finished off the Cardinals last night in the 9th inning, getting loose in the bullpen for the Phillies. In the 8th inning, the Cardinals will have Herrera, Edman, and Donovan.
You know, Brad Hand has an ERA north of 8 on days when it has rained.
Is that right?
Nope. Maybe.
How about day games?
Oh, yeah, struggles probably.
Watch out. But the amazing thing is right now is you're just being able to pull off these stats just lickety split. No problems.
Yeah. Don't look that one up.
I don't know where I'd find it, but you have all these different people.
I don't have any people. I'm just really glad that Tricky Snecky came back up again. That's all.
I honestly was trying to put you on the spot and say, well, you were supposed to do homework last night, thinking there was no chance that happened, and you rattled that one off. That's impressive. Because really, we didn't talk about Tricky Snecky all night after the game.
I know.
I didn't say one thing about him.
I know. You trusted me to do the assignment.
I did. You came through. Runner goes, and it's hit out of play.
Well, they trusted Junior to do a big assignment here. Eat up another inning. You like the stuff. You got Giovanni Gallegos. He's been up and ready in the bullpen. But you'd love Junior to just get out of this one here on his own. Be able to hand over the 8th to Gallegos.
Pitch number 29 from Junior Fernandez. Hit to short, backhanded Edman, and a nice play and a stretch by Goldie. But Junior Fernandez comes in, and he gives the Cardinals an inning and 2/3. Tied at 6 as we head to the 8th. Six our score in the city of brotherly love. Matthew Liberatore about a week ago made the start, and he went 2 2/3. Nolan Arenado is 1 for 3 with a 2-run homer. Cardinals hit 4 home runs in consecutive at bats in the first inning. Kyle Gibson, he went 4. He gave up the 4 homers and 6 earned. Jairo Munoz, the former Cardinal, 2 for 3, couple of doubles, and brought in 2. So it's a ball game in which the Cardinals led 5-0, and now we're tied 6-6.
Well, this is another one of those where you can't let it slip away. They got back into this ball game. It's been a marathon for sure. But the Cardinals have had some heartbreakers here recently. It's time to win one of these games. Brad Hand, your Chevy, called to the bullpen, picked up the save, punched out 2 yesterday in the ball game against the Cardinals. The Cardinals punched out 15 times in the game yesterday. Season high.
All right, our Chevy called to the pen, and it's Brad Hand. Vierling moving from left field to second base. Mickey Moniak into the ball game. He's in center, and Odubel Herrera moves from center to left. And Moniak going into the 8th position in the lineup for the Phils. Herrera has struck out, grounded out to short, and with the bases loaded, popped out into foul territory to first baseman Rhys Hoskins. Long day here at the ballpark. Who's going to come out on top? The 1-1. Hand is the 5th pitcher used by the Phillies today. Cardinals have used 5. Right-handers hitting just 180 against Brad Hand this season. The 2-1 pitch. 2-2.
Pretty good slider right there by Brad Hand. Does a good job. He's unorthodox. The guy's funky. The fastball jumps on you a little bit. Mixes up his leg kick at times. You know, hitting's all about timing.
And Herrera hits a high fly ball into shallow right center. And the catch made by Moniak. The first out here in the top of the 8th. Here's Tommy Edman, the switch hitter, with 2 hits today. A base hit to center, base hit to left, and 2 lineouts to left. 2 for 4. Both teams left with 2 position players on their bench here in this 8th inning. And the next to Tommy. In for a strike. It's been a long day for the home plate umpire, Sean Barber, and for the most part fairly consistent back there.
Yeah, I think he's done a good job.
And the 1-1. Tommy chops it high towards third. Bohm. The stretch at first by Hoskins, and out number 2. Brendan Donovan hit one up the middle, was robbed by the shortstop Bryson Stott in the first. Flied to center, flied to right, and then a terrific catch by Beerling up against the sidewall down the left field line. A rare 0 for 4 day for Donovan, and he's seen his average dip below 300.
I would say Donovan's due for some good luck in this game.
One thing he'll do is he'll make you work. So he's been averaging right around 5 pitches per plate appearance, and that's among the leaders in all of Major League Baseball.
Yeah, a young hitter that's not afraid to take his walks too. You love that. 28 walks, that's second among rookies.
1-1. Cardinals have received 4 walks today. 3 of the 4 issued to Nolan Gorman. He's been on base 4 times. Cardinals with 8 hits. The Phillies with 12. St. Louis is stranded 8. Phillies 9. And a 6-6 game. And the 1-1 pitch. It's going to be really interesting tomorrow to see how both managers, once they go into their bullpens, if they need to, who's available, who's not, who's ready to go.
Yeah, you've used a lot of guys, and for the Phillies, they're using guys back-to-back days. You'll be hands off on a few guys, Brad Hand being one of those, no pun intended.
That hit him. Just kind of leaned into it. And he said, well, he needed a little luck, so he gets it here.
Somehow, some way, find yourself on base. That's the 3rd hit batter by the Phillies today.
Goldie was hit, Arenado was hit, and now Brendan Donovan with 2 outs. And I'm not sure if this ball even hit.
It sure
Donovan.
didn't look like it from that. Hey, somehow, some way, act like you got hit.
Well, he did a little bit.
Yeah,
kind of turned into it.
Nailed it. Look at that look on Stubby's face.
Philadelphia is challenging the call of hit by pitch.
This might not take long. Now there is no question that home plate umpire Sean Barber was hit by this pitch.
Initially, that's what I thought, and everybody started going to first base. I'm like, what is going on here?
Donovan, not so much.
And Donovan walking back. That's usually a pretty clear sign when the guy that's hit by the pitch starts walking back to the plate before they make the ruling.
If this is not overturned, Rob Thompson is going to blow a gasket. And he probably should.
Well, there it's tough to tell if it would have caught the elbow.
Yeah, hopefully New York's got that angle.
And that's the only angle.
That's it. That's all they send. So we got one video.
And now the call by Larry Vanover very shortly here at Citizens Bank Ballpark. You guys got Uber Eats?
It's getting late. He's probably thinking about dinner.
He's on the phone for that too.
Can multitask.
Upon review, the call on the field's overturned. No hit by pitch. Hitter returns to the plate. Philadelphia retains their challenge.
Well, the count should be 3-1. It was clearly a ball.
I will give you that. Can confirm.
Yes.
Not a strike. Now hit a rocket.
I was just saying, now you hit a home run. And that is the walk. Now they had 2-1 up on the video board, and that's why some of the fans are confused.
That's ball 4.
But that should be ball 4. Now they can go back and look and recount the balls and strikes on a replay, but that is the right call. Just the video board had 2-1.
Yeah, forgot to count the missed hit by pitch.
And they're going to go back to their pen with Goldie coming up. Sir Anthony Dominguez. Dominguez head to head. He is 0 for 4 with a strikeout. It's our Chevy call to the pen. Goldschmidt has been on base 3 times. Base hit to center with 2 strikes. Scored a run in the first. Was hit by a pitch in the second. He doubled to right, his 26th double of the year, and has also flied to left. Cardinals have received, by the way, their 5th walk with Donovan at first base. And the first pitch.
Well, that strikeout of Goldie, that happened last night. Sir Anthony Dominguez came in the 8th inning, punched out 2, punched out Goldie and Yepez in a scoreless 8th.
He has been probably the most reliable reliever for the Phillies this year. And Goldschmidt taps it foul, and it's a count of 1 ball and 1 strike.
That's a late breaking slider right there, because you don't generally see that swing from Goldie there where he rolls over that pitch. Paul usually does a really good job letting it travel, driving it the other way.
Well, last 5 games, Dominguez 4 2/3, 1 hit, 5 strikeouts, .067 the batting average against him. Donovan at first, off the plate, and a ball, 2-1. Inside, and it's 3-1 with Nolan Arenado on deck.
Well, this is how you want to set it up. You got a tie ball game late. You got Goldie up in a 3-1 count. Arenado just lurking there on deck. This is exactly where you want to be.
Goldschmidt, fly ball down the right field line and foul. When he gets that home run, he'll be the 153rd member of the 300 home run club and the 10th active player.
Why not right here, right now?
Oh boy. 6-6 our score. Donovan the runner at first. He's off with the pitch. The 3-2 and a swing and a miss. Cardinals have left 9 on. Bottom of the 8th coming up in a 6-6 game. Ball to the pen, and it's Ryan Helsley into the ball game. Liberatore, Thompson, Hicks, Naughton, Fernandez, and now Helsley.
Yeah, Johnny Holstaff pitching in this one. It's worth it if you win the game, right? You go out there, you utilize everybody, piece this thing together. Not the start that Liberatore was looking for, with the bullpen keeping it close throughout.
The top of the lineup: Schwarber, Hoskins, Castellanos. And Schwarber is hitless today. He's 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts. Now, if you're Ryan Helsley, he had been just about unhittable this year, and so you're trying to bounce back after what was a very tough loss. Cardinals were an out away from a sweep against Miami, and then Avisail Garcia takes him deep to center with the crowd on their feet.
Yeah, this one hurt for sure, and it was just one of those heartbreakers. Had a couple in a row, but this one hurt the most. Cardinals weren't able to come back in the bottom half of the inning. And to your point, Dan, for Ryan Helsley, he's been sitting on that one since Wednesday. You know he's wanting to get back in the ball game. Had to give him a couple of days rest, as that was the back end of a back-to-back outing for him. But he wants back out here in a big spot.
Cardinals get an inning of 2/3 from Junior Fernandez. The runs in this game have been scored with the exception of one against the starters. Kyle Gibson went 4+, pitched into the 5th, gave up 6. 2 2/3 for Liberatore, and he gave up 5. The only run that has come against the bullpen was Packy Naughton.
It really is astounding that Gibson got as deep into this ball game as he did, giving up 5 in the first 4 home runs in a row. It's the longest in Major League Baseball history that a guy has gone after giving up 4 consecutive home runs. He went 3 1/3 after that. The previous high was Dave Bush. Went 2
right?
innings. That's right.
Hobbs working for you again, huh?
Hobbs doing a good job.
He is. And the breaking ball taken for a strike by Kyle Schwarber.
I'm paying him in cheesesteaks.
I bet you are.
I'm going to have to.
It's a smart move.
They're delicious.
Take care of Hobbs. Shift on the right side. Outfield is deep. And the next to Kyle Schwarber. Launched foul. Wow. Into the 3rd deck.
You don't go up there with the glove. You don't come to the ball game and say, hey, where are we sitting? Don't worry about it. You don't need it.
That's like Mike Laga-esque. The only man that hit one out of Busch Stadium 2. Like he really hit it out of the ballpark.
Yeah.
Okay. Went on the street.
Well, I get it. It was gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, like gone.
Yeah.
Like it's out of here, but really.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I get it. And that's just a strike. Who cares?
Liberatore, Thompson, Hicks, Naughton, Fernandez, Helsley now here in the 8th. Shift on the right side. It's been Gibson, Knebel, Bellotti, Alvarado, Hand, Dominguez for the Phils. The next Evens it up at 2-2. Schwarber is 0 for 1 head-to-head against Ryan Helsley. And the 2-2 pitch. Couldn't hold up. He strikes out for the 4th time. Phillies have struck out 6 times in the game, and 4 of those by Schwarber.
Yeah, that is a rough day for the NL Player of the Month. Just giving the award today. That's 101 upstairs, though. You got to get started early if you want a chance to catch up to it. It's very difficult to stop your swing.
And here is Hoskins, who walked, popped out with 2 runners on, fly to center, and also a base hit in the 6th. Castellanos on deck, looking into the 9th. The Cardinals have Arenado, Gorman, and Yepez. Shift on the left side of the infield. That's in for a strike. Might be a situation where, depending how this inning turns out, you push Helsley for 2 to have Gallegos available if you go to extra.
Good. Yeah, it makes sense. And again, it goes back to the communication. You talk to Helsley. I'm sure they talked to him before the game of how he's feeling, how deep he thinks he can go. These are conversations that happen all the time.
Left in the pen, you've got Oviedo, Gallegos, and James Nail. The Cardinals liked what they saw from Nail the other night, and the metrics bear it out. I mean, he had plus stuff in terms of spin rate, those kind of things, and had a scoreless debut inning against Miami.
Well, I think that the fact that he is here today tells you how much they liked him.
Yeah.
Nick Wickren was designated for assignment today.
That surprise you at all?
Well, I mean, the path of least resistance would be to send the player down with options. But if you believe that he's a better option in your pen than Wittgren, then it's a move that you have to make.
Yeah.
Right now, you've leaned on your pen heavily. You want the arms that you believe that you can trust, and Nail has moved into that. So, no, not surprised. I mean, I think it's great news for Nail. It could be good news for this bullpen.
Swing and a miss. Back-to-back Ks for Helsley.
Just rears back with the fastball.
Nicholas Castellanos flied to right, struck out on a check swing in the 3rd, and a base hit to right field, then an RBI single to left against Fernandez, but that run charged to Packy Naughton.
It was the first pitch from Junior that he jumped on. It was a slider up in the zone. Just stay down with this guy.
Check swing and a foul ball. The defensive alignment for St. Louis. 2 outs, nobody on, and the 0-1 pitch. Nothing at 2. Helsley has struck out 8 of the last 11 he has seen. Multiple strikeouts, by the way, in his last 6 appearances, including today.
Well, all the numbers bear it out, but so does the eyeball test. He's one of the most dominant relievers in the game right now. I mean, the guy goes out there, he throws triple digits, has feel for 2 different breaking balls, and he's around the strike zone. I mean, that's the big key.
The 0-2. Just got a piece to pull it foul and stay alive. No one throwing for the Phillies in their bullpen as Dominguez was able to get the final out in the top of the 8th. The strikeout of Paul Goldschmidt. Cardinals again will have Arenado, Gorman, and Yepez coming up.
Well, Castellanos likes the ball elevated, but he will swing at the fastball up above the zone as well. So you've shown him down. Do you think about climbing the ladder here?
Let's see what he does on 0-2. Got him. Climbed the ladder and strikes out the side. Good call, partner. So 3 strikeouts in the inning for Ryan Helsley. We head to the 9th and we're all tied up at 6. The Cardinals with 4 consecutive homers, making some history here. Arenado with a 2-run shot. Then it was Nolan Gorman. Back to the righty. Juan Yepez. Then back to a lefty. Dylan Carlson, as the switch hitter, would take one deep. That ball was crushed off the scoreboard and right. And the Cardinals at that point had a 5-0 lead. Then it was tied 5-5. Redbirds took the lead 6-5. Phillies have tied it up. And Sir Anthony Dominguez continues here in the 9th. Up and in. Arenado, a 2-run homer, lined out to left, was hit by a pitch and struck out on a check swing that he argued with the first base umpire Larry Vanover, the crew chief. The 1-0.
Well, it was against Sir Anthony Dominguez last night that Nolan Arenado got his 4th hit of the game. What would be the single to get him the cycle off of Vierling over at third base?
Guarding the line here in this case in the 1-1. Arenado with a drive out to left. It is gone. His 3rd home run in the series. His 2nd today. Nolan with home run number 17. St. Louis back on top here in the 9th, and it's 7-6.
Well, Sir Anthony Dominguez has been one of the best relievers for the Phillies, but Nolan Arenado is one of the best players in the game, and it's a slider that backs up from Dominguez. And Nolan puts it in the seats to give the Cardinals the lead. Not many opportunities throughout this ball game. Big first inning. Then they cash in there. Nice work.
What a series for Nolan Arenado. He hits for the cycle yesterday. And in this game, he's got 2 home runs and he's driven in 3. And that one puts the Cardinals back on top. Now it's Nolan Gorman, who's been on base 4 times. 3 walks and a home run to right back in the 1st inning. This is the kind of game, Brad. This is different than most. It's been kind of a war of attrition, if you will. The last man standing. I mean, you really need and want this game.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, you've unloaded your bullpen. You've thrown everything at the opposition. Both sides have. This is one of the, it just feels like a momentum shifting game. And that guy right there shifted all the momentum right back to the Cardinals.
It's the 13th home run that's been hit in the 9th inning by St. Louis. It's 2nd most in Major League Baseball, behind the New York Yankees, and now tied with the Phillies, 13. And the 2-2 pitch. A swing and a miss. First time that Nolan Gorman has been retired. And the first out. There's Juan Yepez with the home run back in the 1st inning. Popped out to short. Came up with the bases loaded, nobody out in the 5th against Knebel. Popped out on the 1st pitch and struck out swinging in the 7th. Ouch. Yepez drops down to both knees. That foul ball. Chris Conroy come out and check on Juan.
Yeah, this was a 97-mile-an-hour sinker inside that he just slammed off of himself. I'm sure right now it's difficult to put any pressure on it.
Right now, both teams down to 2 position players on their bench. Cardinals have 3 available left in their bullpen, and the Phillies have 3.
Getting lonely down there.
The 0-1. Now, if I'm Sir Anthony, I got to go back to that sinker in, don't I, after he puts one off his shin?
I would. I'm going to make you as uncomfortable as I possibly can.
And the 1-1.
Although a perfect slider down the way is good too.
That'll work.
The risk you run, though, is that backup slider. Juan Yepez will absolutely park that one, too. You know how good he is on pitches on the inner half, specifically ones that are up.
It'll be Helsley in the 9th inning. Realmuto, Bohm, Vierling due up, with no one throwing for St. Louis in the bullpen. The 2-2 put in play by Yepez. I'll say this, he was running fairly well, so that's a good sign.
It's a great sign.
And that'll be the second out. Arenado with 2 more home runs hit today, now up to 17. He's driven in 3 more. He's up to 55. Dylan Carlson, the home run off the scoreboard in right in the first, and then 3 strikeouts after that. 2 looking, 1 swinging. And Dylan puts it in play out to left field. And the catch made by Herrera. We head to the bottom of the 9th. A home run hit by Nolan Arenado. His second today, 3rd in the series. Can the Cardinals finish it off? We're about to find out when we come back. Michael last night on base 3 times today with 2 home runs. A 2-run homer in the first, solo shot in the 9th to break the tie, and was also hit by a pitch midway through. Cardinals have the lead 7-6 as Helsley will try to finish it off. Struck out the side in the 8th. Realmuto, Bohm, and Vierling for the Phils. And the first pitch is a ball low. Realmuto with 5 home runs this year. He's lined out to right, singled to left, and scored in the 3rd. Grounded into a fielder's choice and struck out in the 6th. Head to head with Helsley. He's 0 for 1. And the 1-0 pitch slowly hit up the 3rd base line and foul. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Well, Nolan Arenado, you and I were talking about him off air. Just the fact he's just all business. He shows up, he's ready to work, grind it out, whatever it takes behind the scenes, get ready to come out and do this. How about his pace on that home run? That was Scott Rowland-esque. I mean, head down, basically sprinting around the bags, got the job done, ready to go back out here and do some work, maybe make a magical play at 3rd before it's all over. Who knows?
And the 1-1 pitch taken high. In a perfect world, he'd have Helsley close this out, and then Gallegos is available tomorrow in a save situation potentially. Still 3 outs to go. The 2-1, 2-2. Helsley has gone 2 or more innings 3 times this season. Doesn't happen very often, but when they push him, they're 3-0 in those games. Matter of fact, they're 22-3 in the games that he's made an appearance.
Well, he's only been in winning ball games, right? And when he's in there, very rarely does he give anything up at all. And that's why I'm sure he's so happy to be back in this one after that game Wednesday.
And the 2-2 is fouled back, out of play.
Better location on that breaking ball right there. Slider. This one down and away. Had missed up on one earlier. Got away with it. I think you can gas up Real Muto now. Fastball away. Maybe elevate it a little bit.
Dylan Carlson in center, shading Real Muto a little bit towards right center, so pretty big gap in left center. In a full count. Naughton had a leadoff walk back in the 6th. That run came around to score. And the 3-2 pitch by Helsley.
You start thinking about this Cardinal bullpen, and we've seen a couple of pieces today. Hicks came back, looked solid in his return. Bunch of ground balls, hitting 103, but consistently over 100. You love to see that. Junior Fernandez been really good for you. You already know about your back end with Helsley, Giovanni Gallegos. Hope to get Genesis Cabrera back soon. Bullpen's got a lot of nice pieces in it.
It's another 3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. No, they're going to say he just got a piece as Herrera goes to tag him, and Helsley's pleading the case to say no, no, no. Ollie's saying no, no, no. Hold on.
Yeah, generally with the foul tip, you hear it. Telling home plate umpire Sean Barber, you know it's my birthday, right?
Well, that's close.
You can't tell. Just trying to listen in at full speed for the sound. Didn't hear another tick off the bat, but
so we do it again on 3-2. Real Muto battling right here.
Well, as we've learned in this game, this series already, it's not going to come easy anyhow.
No.
You're going to have to earn it.
Three-two again, and this time he got him and held on to by Ivan Herrera.
That was about the same pitch. Fastball just down and in. Got him to swing over it.
I actually thought he got a piece of this one too. Nope. As Herrera's holding on for dear life.
Just in case.
So Ryan Helsley has come in. He has seen 4, and there's 4 strikeouts.
All on the gas too. 101, 99, 98. That one 97 to JT Real Muto.
And now it's Alec Bohm, who's tripled, singled, 2 runs scored. Grounded back to the pitcher, fly to center. First pitch to him is a ball high. Boy, how many times have we seen a breaking ball coming out of the hands on both sides, both pitchers, where it just looks like it's slipping out of their hands?
Yeah, I've seen it happen a lot. Grip appears to be an issue.
The 1-0. Falls behind here. 2 balls, no strikes. Matt Vierling on deck. The 4 strikeouts, the most he's had in a game this year. He's done it twice. Prior to what's happened here this evening. Had him out in front, and it's popped up near the screen. Herrera throws the mask and makes the catch. On 2-0, fooled him a bit, and he pops it up, and there's 2 away.
That is a huge out. 97-mile-an-hour fastball up and away. Bohm tries to just pull it and ends up fouling this thing straight back.
You got the home plate umpire when he threw the mask.
I think he did too. Tracing him.
And here's Vierling, who has 2 runs batted in. Sac flies back in the 2nd and the 3rd, grounded out to 3rd and walked in the 7th. And the Phillies down to their final out. Vierling does have 3 home runs this year. The first pitch to him. Ball 1. Giovanni Gallegos begins to throw in the St. Louis bullpen. This would be pitch number 30 for Ryan Helsley. The 1-0. A ball and a strike.
That's a really nice pitch to be able to get back in the count. Slider starts on the plate middle, ends up down and away.
And the 1-1 pitch by Helsley. Inside, 2 balls and a strike. Ryan kind of on fumes right now. I mean, when you see him hitting 96, 97, not the normal 99 to 100, 101, he's starting to fade just a little bit.
Well, and that's the difference, right? How do you dig deep and have that little something extra? It doesn't have to be velocity. Got to be location. Pretty good one there. Doesn't get the call from home plate umpire Sean Barber, down and away.
Herrera is on deck, and Ali ain't happy. Not one bit with the strike zone. Frustrated last night. He thought that was a strike, and it's 3-1. The next. A 2-out walk. Well, this might be one of those times where Ali goes out. We've seen this just a handful of times where it's a conversation with Helsley. 1, to slow him down, let him catch his breath, but 2, where are you? And as Ali said in one of these spots, he goes to his pitcher and he says, you want to stay in? Pitchers 99 out of 100 say, yes, I do. And he says, well, how are you going to get him out? What's your approach in this at bat?
Well, I see. I love that concept too. Not the yes, but how. What is your plan of attack? And he's saying, all right, you want him, go get him then. And I like this. I like the fact that it's Ali going out there doing it. They're talking it over. As you mentioned, I mean, the pitch count's getting up there now for Helsley in the 2nd inning. He's been so good. He's punched out 4 thus far. What do you have left in the tank?
So Helsley, an inning of 2/3. Struck out the first 4 he saw. Got the pop out on a 2-0 pitch of Bohm. Vierling draws the walk. And now it's Herrera, who has 5 home runs this year. He's got a couple of walk-off hits. He represents the winning run, and good speed with Vierling at first base as he represents the tying run here in this bottom of the 9th. 7-6 St. Louis. Arenado is even with the bag at 3rd. Goldie holding at 1st. Outfield is deep. And straight away. And the first pitch. Strike one. Herrera's never faced Helsley. The 0-1. 0-2, and the Phillies down to their final strike.
Just a couple of nasty sliders down in the zone right here. You knew that Herrera was going to try to get big. You knew he's going to be aggressive in this spot. And now you're in the driver's seat.
Lefties 4 for 44. That's an 0.91 average against Helsley this year. 20 strikeouts. The long day of baseball could end right here. Helsley set. And the 0-2 pitch to Herrera.
I like the idea right there. Either you get him to swing through it or you set up another slider down in the dirt, just change the eye level for him.
Phils have stranded 9 in this game. Helsley trying to make it 10 and finish off game 2 of the series. The 1-2 swing and a miss. He struck him out. Herrera to Goldie, and the Cardinals hold on with one of their biggest wins of the year. They hold on 7-6. It was Liberatore, Thompson, Hicks, Naughton, Fernandez, Helsley, and that guy popping a pair of home runs, and they win it.
You got 6 1/3 strong out of your bullpen. A historic first inning as you hit 4 home runs in a row. Arenado, Gorman, Yepez, and Dylan Carlson. One that would have been a heartbreaker had it slipped away. Happy birthday to Ollie, and a victory that the Cardinals much needed and really earned.
So they've earned a split in the first 2 games. History in this series with the cycle by Arenado last night. 4 consecutive home runs hit in the first inning by the Cardinals, and then 2 more by Nolan himself in this game. Post-game show is coming up. Redbirds hold on 7-6.